Welcome back, ladies and gents, to this week's GKP Live, and we have got Rick there, or he was there, and now he's off to get a bit of refreshments and to load the fire. There's me thinking you were going for your lifeline.
Well, no, I've got the beers.
Oh, priorities, mate, priorities. It's already there. It's already on standby. Now then, as we spoke about last week, I just would like to start the show off this week with a massive thank you for everybody that got behind the 24-hour live. While we've got everybody filling in and packing in for the beginning of the show, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly, while we've got 60-60 in now at present, I'd like to know if I was thinking that what probably would be the best thing would be to do it on a Saturday, maybe early evening through to the following Sunday. That way, then everybody still gets to go to bed on the Sunday night before work on the Monday morning for those that's working, and nobody ends up being up too late and what have you. I thought it might be a slightly better thing than doing on a Thursday evening through till Friday evening, because obviously we're going to be at work the following day, and that's not going to be a no-brainer for most. So if it works for everybody, all we really need to do is take part and do it. Now, I'm looking, guys, I'm not looking for this just to be a 24-hour event. If you've got a YouTube channel and you want to come on and you want to come in and stick your head on, you're more than welcome to do so. We can have 10 people on at once. Obviously,
before we go down that road, Gaz, I had a little thought about this.
Oh, here we go.
Right, so it's a 24-hour event. Remember, 24 hours, Kiefer Sutherland. Could we not get 24 people that got YouTube channels to come on at a designated hour and then put it on there? So it's also on your channel, but they can have it on their channel. And we can also link it through to their channel too. Yeah, that can 1 hour and 24. So everyone
gets a rotation.
24 hours like that.
Yeah.
That thing.
So we can even share it straight through to your channels as well as being aired off of this one. So if anybody is interested, like we're saying, you're a YouTuber and you want to come on, if we can get 24 or even people to come on to be guests with one of those 24, that would be fantastic. But what I was going to say is you don't have to be a YouTuber. If there's anybody that would like to come on and has anything that they want to come and join in and have a topic or a natter or a chat about, or just to sit there and have a laugh and a giggle with us and just take part in it, just to be a part. You don't have to be a YouTuber. You can be don't even have to be a koi keeper, just somebody that's interested in the hobby and passionate about what you're doing. 100% Vince. Yeah, me and Leo, definitely pop on for a while, sweet. George Murdoch, I'll pop on, mate, sweet. That's what I want. So that we can get some interaction. So it's not, obviously, I'm not going to be able to sit here and talk. I mean, I can do some talking. I really can talk, but I don't think I can manage 24 hours straight on my Jack Jones. If I did, I don't very well think the watch time hours would be greatly high numbers at all hours through the night. But the idea is that we do what we're doing and hopefully bring it forward and do the 24-hour live and also make a little bit of money for the charity. So there will be events that are going on and through. So if Saturday sounds to be a good night for most, all I really need then is to get the finalised date together. And it will be this side of Christmas. It won't be next year, it'll be this side. So we've got
Christmas Eve. Is that Saturday?
Christmas Eve won't be a bad one, would it? We could get absolutely spandangled as well, couldn't we? Because it'd be an extra excuse to have a drink. Christmas cheer and all that.
There, mate.
I think we probably would, but it could be good fun. So it's going to be a Saturday then. All we really need to do is see and get everybody involved. I want to see Lee H and Justin Mac. No thanks. No, I don't want to see Lee. I've seen Lee without a mankini, mate. So the mankini is going to cover very little that I've not already seen.
The little he's got, the mosquito.
But yeah, if anybody's got any topics that they would like to talk about this evening, as we've had nothing posted through and we ain't got no koi appreciation now at this time of year, I don't think it's really the best time of year for me doing the koi appreciation. And hopefully we'll swing back into that one again come next season. But if you have got any topics or any questions you would like to ask this evening, if you want to put it through to us, I have sent the link out to Crafty. The link is there for anybody at the top of the comments if anyone want to jump on and have a natter or a chat in, join in with us. Can you imagine Christmas morning? I was doing a 24-hour live. No, I don't think that'd I don't think that would be. Got some bits for the auction, Philippe. Yes, cheers, mate. That was some of the wood carving things that you've done and got sorted out, mate. Appreciate that, bud. But yeah, if there's anybody that wants to make a donation of anything to put up for an auction or whatever, more than happy to. All proceeds from it will be going to the charity for Alzheimer's, which is what we're going to do. So in the very near future, I will post a link on the Gazza's Koi Pond community Facebook group. I will post a link to it in the Gazza's Koi Pond community on YouTube as well, and I'll post a link to the charity organisation GoFundMe link. So that will be coming up in the next couple of weeks or so, or next week or so. Hopefully then we can all have a sit down and have a nattering with myself, you and everybody else. And I would also, if we can, I would like to get all our admin to stick their head in and come in and join us as well, showing those that have been there supporting us, watching the comments, going through the comments and doing what they're doing week in, week out. It would just be my way of turn around and say, thanks very much. And this is the team, because it isn't just about me. It isn't a GKP thing. It's a full community thing. So there we go. That's the ideas. That's what we're coming up with. And a massive thank you for everybody that supported it and added the donations in last week, which will all be, well, all by the percentage that YouTube takes, will be put into purchasing little bits and bats that we can bang out there and give out and raffle off and give off little gifts. And we'll do spin wheels for prizes for people to get and receive as a thank you from me to you, i.e. you guys put it in and putting it straight back into the community. By the 50%, but that is what it is.
That Alan's going to do 24 varieties, one every hour, do a discussion.
One variety
every hour, and he's going to be there.
That could be fantastic, and that's what I'm actually hoping. I mean, Mr. Tate, if you do join, if you are watching, I am actually hoping that perhaps maybe we can take up a good. I mean, I know Mr. Tate knows his stuff a hell of a lot more than the vast majority of any of us could ever dream to know, and I know he does do a lot of talking cinemas, and I wondered if he might actually do a topic of discussion and sit there and do a bit of a talk about something as he would do, but doing as a live version. Fingers crossed. I don't know if he can. I've got to put it to him and ask him and see what he says, see what he's up for if he does come on, because he could do an hour or so just doing that alone, which I think would be great.
It's going to be. We'll have to do 48 hours to fit it all in.
Well, that's what I think, mate. When you start thinking about it, if we can get on a topic and we start talking about a topic, and if we said we were going to do 24 fish throughout the 24-hour, you could have an half-hour chat about each fish, and that's 12 hours gone. There's not much time to do a great deal else. I'd like to do a little bit of an auction. I've had a word with Ryan from Exclusively Koi. I've had a word with Crafty, obviously, from Perfect Aquatics, and they are both talking about coming on, hopefully, and sorting out and doing some actual auction for fish as well for people to purchase and pick up as well. So hopefully there'll be some auctions thrown in there. And we all know that takes 3.5 to 4 hours per auction for 15 slots. So we're down to 6 hours of talking. That's it. We're down to a normal Thursday night near about 2 hours. So we should be able to smash it. Piece cake.
We could just take the night off.
Yeah, we could just sit here, kick back and relax, mate, and watch everybody else do it for us.
Yeah.
Let me just go quickly through the comments and make sure that I've not missed anything, because I wanted to make sure I catched everybody coming in. Gaz Jones was the last one I think I put up there. Was evening all. Hope everyone is well and had a good week so far. Can't grumble, mate. Things are picking up a little bit, but yeah, not to moan about. Paul Hutchinson says evening peeps. Marcus with evening all. Brian Glover says evening all. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. PM. Oh, sorry, that's 7:33 p.m. Autistic koi keeper. My bad.
Jigs is getting in trouble already. He's on the door, not coming in.
Simon says evening. Pool Pond UK says evening one. Hope everyone's good. Now then, I think we can have a quick little topic and see if you've heard out about it, Rick. I don't know if it'll affect you. Nice harvest video, mate. There was some nice fish in that bowl. Just seen your little shot. There's some very nice fish in there. There's some good sized fish come out, aren't there?
Cole's got on it. We were short on space, and he's done something like 90 fish photographed a day to go on the website.
God damn.
It's good going. They're not easy to photograph one fish, let alone doing 90.
It's gone 90. So
90
it's smashed
today.
through some of them then. So they're all going up. When do they all go live on the website then?
Well, he'll have to process them, but they should be if he gets a chance tomorrow. But you have to do the magic to get them, I don't know.
Yeah, upload them all and all the bits and bats. Type
Yeah,
in
you have to just make them face the right way and get all the pictures the right size. And
yeah.
We try not to touch them up because at the end of the day, if you make it look too good, people are disappointed when they receive them. So, yeah.
An honest photo for an honest fish, mate.
Well, yeah, that's the best way. If people get a fish and it looks better than they thought, it's better, isn't it? In my head. There's nothing worse than opening a box and going,
it's great. If you get it in your photo and it looked like $1 million in photograph and it comes out looking like a bag of crap, you're like, ah, bastard.
Yeah, like all the presents I'll get you.
Sorry, Zoe's joining in now. She just turned up, butting in. But yeah,
If
you buy a fish and you think it's not bad,
that?
yeah, I'm plugged in.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you buy a fish and it turns up better than expected, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
It's always better to get something better than you thought rather than something worse.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, mate.
Can you make that work?
So I'm multitasking here.
That's all right, mate. No problem. Pete Jig says Saturday sounds good to me. Yeah, smashing, mate. I think most people would agree that if we did it through from the Saturday night through to the Sunday, I mean, Vince, if we timed it right, we could go straight through to you kicking into your live for another 3-hour stint afterwards. Dr. Kempo says, afternoon, Gaz and Ricardo.
I think the YouTubers should have to pay for their slot. So the 24 people that want to film it should have to pay for their hour slot.
All these ideas are coming from Rick, folks. Don't be scared off by them. George says he'll... Vince says there, told you I'm in, Gaz. George says he'll pop on, mate. What Saturday are we thinking? It needs to be... This is the thing, mate. For those that... Obviously, if we're getting everybody on, it needs to work for myself, Daz, Rick, Crafty, Ryan, Lee. Those will be, and Mr. Tate. So those will be the 7 main guests that were going to be there on the evening. So as long as we can make it work for them, and then everybody else that would like to come on can work around that, then yeah. There's not, let's face it, there's not very many. What we got Saturdays, we've got the 16th, 23rd, and the 30th left of this month. So we could push into December, which then would be the first one, would be the 7th, 14th for the 21st, because after that, we could do Saturday the 21st. Through to Sunday, the 22nd. That's close to Christmas holidays, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm in London then.
Oh, cool. That
With family already. I think that's already gone.
Between Christmas Eve and New Year, absolutely pointless. There's nobody online. So between Christmas and New Year, I don't think anybody is.
So what, the 14th or the 7th?
YouTube and everything just plummets from like November onwards. So that's why I thought we'd do a little bit towards the back end of the year, go out on a little bit of a high and get a little bit of something made up for charity. So if we go in, that's February. Scroll too far.
Yeah, maybe 7th or 14th of December, somewhere in that.
Yeah, between 7th for the 14th of December. We'll see if we can get people to work in around that date, and then we'll sort it for that.
I still think we should do it at Crafties.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. But the thing is, it's getting the signal Wi-Fi to be able to do it. And I know from past experience, there's very little Wi-Fi, and the reception down there is garbage. And then that's controlling everything from a mobile phone. It's doable. It's doable. We can get a laptop to just pop it on and do it all from that. But it's doable. Could do. One way or another. Well, we need to get his heads together and talk and see what everybody wants to do and go through it with that way. So it'd be sweet then.
Yeah, you need doing it at mine would be all right if the weather's crap, like it was when you came down. That's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, I mean, that would be, we'd all be underneath we could be inside the store or whatever. But I think if we do what works for you, I'm not bothered. I'll go wherever it needs to be or be at home and do it individually, whatever we do. Doesn't stop necessarily you from being out there 24/7. Don't stop Crafty from being there at store 24/7 if you want to do stuff, in that way sense. But yeah, it's doable. We just need to work it out. So we're looking between the 7th and the 14th of next month of December.
Early Christmas present.
Yeah. There we go. There's a plan. That's the plan. Hang about right then. Let's have a quick look. I will, mate, when every fecker has fallen to sleep. He didn't say he was going to keep us up all night. You're right, mate. I didn't. I will be there 24/7. I don't expect, but the vast majority will be. But I will be for sure. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth a giggle. There was a question there for you, Rick. Rick, if I ring up and pay 100, will you select a fish and auction it off for the charity?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, I mean, wicked.
Yeah. I'll have to find one that's worth a lot more than 100.
Just get one of those pictures, and then everybody will be surprised anyway when they get one even better.
Well, yeah, but yeah, 100%. What an idea, look.
I hope the takeaway is 24-hour craft for Crafty. Yeah, I bet he does and all.
He could keep the cafe open if he stays at work.
He could, couldn't he? He could keep cafe open.
He could have a bacon sandwich every hour on the hour.
So we got evening from Jeff. Good evening, mate.
Evening, Jeff.
Shout
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, congrats, Jeff.
You did right. Yeah. Yours was better than Sally's. Evening.
Simon Shears again. Quick, I'm just going to go through them all and we've got everybody's in. If you've got any questions, do us a huge favor, put it in caps or put the word question in caps. At least that way, then we can make them stand out a little bit more to everything else. Seska says, I'll photograph the koi for you, Rick. Just not with a red brawler.
That red brawler.
There was a red haze to the ball, wasn't there? But man, they got some fucking growth out of the fish, so that is for sure.
Yeah, if you put that into context, 37 centimeter fish at 28 weeks old, and it wasn't just one of them; it was a number of them.
No, it was a good selection. Wasn't it? That's some serious.
That's quite easily 45 cm fish by the time they're first.
That's credit to a well set up system as well, though, isn't it? So, because it's not just about feeding them, is it? You've got to be able to filter all that kind of stuff out. You've got to make sure that the parameters are all cock on and bob on, and that they can keep growing.
And the shape of the fish, that they look mint. Yeah, absolutely. We went neck and neck for a period, and then I moved mine, and yeah, that's nearly twice the size of my biggest ones by the end.
So what were you thinking then? You know, when there was somebody at background going, but you were going next year. What we're thinking of doing is Sanke. I think that's
I sent you the pictures, mate. Welsh dragon.
I know. That's why I didn't know whether or not you were going to be. You 100% doing it then?
Well, no, I can only 100% do it if the fish are.
Well, yeah, but that's what you're aiming for.
They're there. They're both. Yeah, I can have all the aims in the world, but the reality is.
Yeah, it's down to them on the day.
If I can get that pair in to produce, and I can dedicate the space to do it, because it's going to be. That's the problem. It's our peak time, and it's quite a lot of fish to hold back in the hatchery because I've got to get them to a point where everyone can take them. It'd be a challenge, but if I can, that's what I'll try and do. And
are we allowed to share them pictures that you are you wanting to keep it for you and Vince?
No, I didn't share them, mate. It's that's what I'm going for. I'm just not guaranteeing it.
It's just you're not guaranteed, but that's the aim of what you're going for. So I know somebody that's going to be gutted. He's going to have to grade through Sankes. Right then, so that one will be the male.
That's Lee's Takano Sanke, which
award winning.
Yeah, it's an immense male, absolutely stunning. So that was the biggest of Koi Wholesale's Dragon Ball grow out. So when I got that was the biggest female they had at the time. So it's come on quite a lot. That was when it was shipped. I've spawned it this year, so I know it produces good eggs. It's ready to go. It's probably 60, 65 centimetre Sanzai now. So
what size is Lee's? Is that 60 plus?
Yeah, it's low 60.
I mean, looking at ball, it's we can see 50 there, and that's not even straight.
It's low 60.
At least 60 plus, hasn't it?
It's not so much the size; it's the sumi quality of both parents.
Yeah.
We've always struggled with our Sankes. The sumi's the one thing that to get it to come out and pop fairly early has been a nightmare. But both these parents have got it, and if we can do that fish now, the sumi's come up absolutely booming. So the Dragon Ball line's got Showa heritage in it, which is what they put to try and improve the sumi coming out and the youngsters and whatever. So yeah, if we can supply them to 100 people, 100 fish for the grow out.
Yeah, it's more of a manageable number as well, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I'd like to do more fish per person, but 100 fish per person, it gives. Yeah, someone's going to have some absolute bangers. Yeah, it's tricky to have. Even as it's tricky to do because I've got to get them up to nearly an inch, and they've got to be coming from the hatchery to be all come in at the same time. It is a bit of a ball's ache, I'm not going to lie, but if I can do it, it'll be a phenomenal event for everyone, won't it?
Yeah, and Welsh dragons, eh?
I'm just thinking one side's a Dragon Ball line, and the other side's a Welsh wank. Not the Welsh wank, the Welsh lad. But he'd be on board surely. So at the end of the day, I think that some of the fun of growing fish is not just growing them, but obviously if you know that there's a bond almost with the parents or whatever, a knowledge of where they are, what they are. What would be better than going to a show and having a better Sanke than Lee that was bred from his fish or whatever?
Yeah.
It's just...
for me, Sankes, I like Showas, but I just don't seem to... I mean, I've got one that's... It's washed out, mate. And that is one that now, when I do hopefully tomorrow, weather being good, I'm going to take a few scrapes from my fish. And if, as it should be, as they are, I'm moving them around to my dad's, because if they're clean and they've look at all sick vomit faces there, Sanke's a mint, mate. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of Showas because I don't really seem to have much luck with it. But Sanke wise, I seem to be doing all right with, and I like watching the progression of them. I like that a good fish that you can, where you think's going to come up, and if you kind of predict it in your own head and have a look at it and keep watching that, it's nice to see if it does come to fruition. I think it's a good fish that you can learn from, as well as like, your Shura. They're a good fish that you can learn from as well. You can see what's underlying. You can normally see it coming up. When it's a younger fish, you'll see it developed and then it'll drop off, and then watching it come back again and seeing that, that sumi come up and develop again. I think they're cool fish to do it with, mate. So I'm going to be, I'll definitely be in on that one and definitely be well interested. I think I'll evict some.
Sankes is one of those, isn't they? They're the breed. I think breeders don't like them because your numbers are pretty bad because you've got so many elements to be good. But actually, once you get them to a certain size, they become a lot more predictable because the benny pattern, you start to see the benny and you know where the sumi sort of is, and it's and they can come. Yeah, they can. It's just I don't think you need, from what we've learned this year, you don't need massive numbers to get good fish. Okay, you need massive numbers to get the absolute pinnacles, but to get decent fish, 100 fry per person, everyone will have good fish, 100%. But obviously that comes down to their raising and abilities and temperatures and food and the whole shebang thereafter, doesn't it? Who can make that fish blossom? Who can get the best out of them? That's the whole point of it, isn't it?
100%. And would you be saying that for all those that did partake last time, hopefully those guys are all going to be in again and rolling over.
Yeah, everyone that
expand it out to a wider audience as well if you can. You're trying
that's
to
the point. Yeah, so the 50 that took part last time get an automatic. Sure, yeah, they can go in. So hopefully there'll be 50 lots available. And I can't remember. I don't know if Vince did a draw. I can't remember if we did it in the end. But yeah, so there might be 50 new slots available for people to take those fish or whatever. So yeah, we're working out the finer details at the minute. But I think everyone enjoyed it so much last year that it's kind of a no-brainer. The only pressure really is on me, isn't it, to try and have the parents in the right condition to spawn at the right day at the right time to rear the right number of eggs for the right amount of. It's just to get 100.
You can smash it out. You undersell yourself every time. I mean, the fish that you've got coming out, there's some bangers in there, mate. There really is.
It's not that's not so much issue. It's to do an exact parent set on an exact pretty much day to then have them all available to go out 100 lots in a 3-day courier window at an inch. It's not easy.
From a true line spawn in Sanke, then what are you expecting to get from that? What else can throw out in that mix?
So you'll have maybe sort of 10% Kahaku, 5% Shiro Beko, then you'll have a certain amount of like Aka Bekos or whatever. So what you might call squash tomatoes or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, the way it won't be necessarily, obviously, the best Sanke most likely win, but actually there'll be good Kahaku and good Shiro Beko and whatever. So, but that's what you'll have. Everyone will probably have, I don't know, probably 50 actually red, black, and white fish from the spawning.
Yeah.
But you can't discount the black and white ones, the red and white ones, and everything else, can you? But it's just such a learning curve. And obviously, like we did last time, if I do the same, I'll put 100 somewhere separate and we'll get them out once a month and I'll grade through them and say, well, I'll keep this, and this because of this, and I'll get rid of that, and that because of that. Whether people follow me or not, it just gives them an idea of what you perhaps should or shouldn't be looking for. And hopefully 100 people end it with 5 good fish with one to enter into the competition at the end.
Yeah, again. And it was nice. It was nice to see that you got Mr. Tate to do your judging as well for it. The wishing that when you said I wish that we had a 4th place because what was it? Kin Matsuba?
There was a good Gin Matsuba.
Gin Matsuba. Yeah, that was nice, that wasn't it? That was a nice body.
The photo, the photo was stunning. But the reality of it, it was a lot smaller than a lot of the other fish. And in the video, the body wasn't as good as it looked. Then that's the thing with a photo, isn't it? You can take a photo from a certain angle and it
looks banging.
Way bigger. The quality was there, but you couldn't see the actual true body shape and you couldn't see the true size. But obviously, if that was in a show against some of the other fish, it'd be two classes apart or whatever, wouldn't it? It's not even.
Yeah.
But you can't. And the thing with the photography as well, isn't it? Like we were joking about Seska's umbrella and whatever, but in reality, the quality, we're judging off a video and a photo.
Yeah, I mean,
if the video and photo don't make the fish look good, it's hard, isn't it?
There's one thing that I would advise for next time. I mean, there was one particular video that looked like some Cinecam from 1976 kind of time. And the only reason why I say it, that if depending on how you've had them sent to you, will depend upon the quality that you will receive. I.e., if you're sending them through the group chat itself, you're going to get it downgraded because they reduce the format file size. Let's say, for example, if you are sending through 1 gig of video footage, they will reduce that file size and they will take it down to 340 pixels or maybe 720 pixels instead of it being its true 1080 or 2K or 4K, right? So the best way to do it so that whatever you get and whatever you receive is to get them to send it through to you via 2 forms. There's 2 ways that you can do it. Everybody can make an account. It's totally free. And it's an account called Dropbox. You open up, all you need is an email address. You upload your picture to the Dropbox, and then you email that to Rick at New Forest Koi or to Vince at Twisted Koi. And then all he does is log onto that Dropbox and downloads them. And he gets them in exactly the same style format that you uploaded them to. Or you can do it another way and go into Google. Everybody's got a Google account. If you've got a YouTube account, you've got a Google account. And in Google account, you can use what's called Google Docs or Google Drive. Go onto Google Drive and upload your photos there and do it in the same manner. Google Drive one's a little bit more complicated, but Dropbox is really simple. And you can even do Dropbox off your mobile phone. You can take the pictures, film it on your mobile, copy them over into your Dropbox account, send it straight through in an email, just like that. It's a piece of cake. But you get no quality drop. You don't lose picture quality. And the other one,
I think we have more issues with perhaps clear water and fish.
Well, that was one other thing I was just going to say. I mean, if you're boiling up a fish, yes, it's not good to be having fish in water with chlorine. Add a little bit of dechlorinator to a clean bowl of fresh water. As long as you've got your temperatures somewhere near, which you can balance out by a little warm water adding to it, put a bit of dechlorinator in there and stick your fish in a fresh bowl of blue bowl with fresh water in it. There's no need to be using water out your pond, which might have the odd little bit of green stuff floating around in it, because it reduces the quality, it reduces the clarity, and then you're going to get marked down purely by having a fish that doesn't show its best potential in water that's slightly murky.
It's a whole new book. Photographing fish is an issue. It is hard.
It is.
It is an absolute pain. But yeah, we could work around it to a point, but it is difficult. Some of them were hard to even see what's going on.
Yeah, it's not difficult. It's not difficult. Sorry, it's not easy to get the perfect picture. It can be quite difficult, can't it? But if you've got a good bit of footage and you've got a PC, you can use your PC to go into any PC from Windows. Well, what we're on now? What is it? I forgot what it's even freaking called. New version of Windows. I forgot what it is. But you can use the new version of Windows. All of them have got like a video finder or a video viewer built in. Put it in there. If you right click on that image and then scroll down to it and play with whatever viewer player that you've got on, you'll also be able to click on that again and then save a photo from that video. So you don't necessarily have to get a photo from your camera trying to catch the fish in the right place. You can literally move it on second by second by second by, or frame by frame by frame by frame, till eventually you find the perfect picture where the fish is in the right shape, right position, doing it all for you, all from your one video. But if anybody ever does need any,
it's a whole process, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's doable, and it doesn't take minutes when somebody shows you how. It's easy enough. He says.
There we go.
It's lighting. Lighting's probably one of the hardest, isn't it? Getting that glare off your water. That's difficult.
There is so the best photos are done with no light, but the light's too low to video. So you almost need two environments, one for video and one for photography.
100%. I'd agree with that, mate. And if you want your fish to be a little bit more relaxed, a lot of people do use a little bit of sedate in the bowl, so that, not talking tons, you don't want your fish rolling over in there, but if you want it more relaxed. And another tip that everybody does when they're using it or they're taking pictures in Japan is they'll move the fish back by the tail, gently holding it, moving it back, and then when they're ready for the person to take the picture, they send it forward with a gentle little nudge, and the fish puts its pecks out and just glides through the water, and that's where you get your best still shot from it.
So you need to do a whole YouTube video. Get round
it's only what I've watched, only what I've seen them doing, and seen, like Ryan doing, and seeing what Lee were doing, and watching the Japanese taking photos over there, and watching what Lee filmed, which shows what they do and how they do it. And they've all got to have a little bit of sedate in them bowls, because those fish aren't, fresh out of a mud pond. They ain't just keeping still like that, are they? Without thinking about, I'm going to power out of this bowl, I'm off. So they've got to have a little bit.
It's so easy now. It blows my mind. When we first started trying to do photos of fish on cameras with film, and you go 24 pictures, and you take them off the boots and come back, and they're all blurred and they're all rubbish, and it's like how that was. Now it's so easy compared to what it used to be like.
With your basic iPhone now. I mean, I'm saying like iPhone 14 Plus. And probably a couple models before, you can do burst photos. So you can take a photo and you can take 100 frames and it'll literally burst photo. And every one of those pictures will be 100% perfect. And you just got to pick and select the best one that you get out of that burst photo. And you only have to press it once or press and hold, and it just does a burst photograph. So there's loads of little tips for your mobile phones for getting the good pictures and stuff like that.
So this is your next video at the weekend, then you'll go and...
Well, probably so. Doubt it. Anyway, right. There was a couple, I think. Ricardo, can you get Carlos and Sean on? Talk about what they do around the farm and the koi side.
Well, no. Carl would be quite happy to come on.
Carl,
yeah, he's no bother at all. But yeah, trying to get Sean in front of a customer, letting a camera.
Yeah. He is pretty shy when you're down there with cameras out, and he's like, as soon if he's, are you filming? Oh, gone. He's away.
I think he come past us the other day on 4 different modes of
transport
in one
lawnmower
or one lawnmower, quad, digger. He's just
playing on toys by the sound of it, but doing laps.
Yeah. To be fair, Carl will be no bother, and he does his graph, man. He's got as much experience in fish farming, and it's just different aspects. He's more the actual fish farming and the management of ponds and stuff, rather than so much the koi, the finer details of koi or whatever. I think he's colorblind as well, which probably is not.
Well, Rob's asked there. Rob Fox has asked, how do the crucian and tench get in there, Rick? On duck's feet? Question. And what happens with them?
Well, because we got the main fishing lake, obviously, and we've always done our own. So when we went biosecure 20 years ago, we sold shabumpkins, goldfish, all the ornamental fish. So we do them all. We do all those ourselves, so we don't have to buy them in from anywhere. We're a self-controlled unit. So we do normal carp, tench, whatever. Crucians, we had some crucians in that pond, and they just breed. And also some of the little fry, that particular pond, there's a bowl in the middle. It used to be a lot deeper than it is, but there's still a wet bowl in the middle.
Yeah,
some little fish stay in there, so the tench fry or the crucian fry will stay, and then we'll restock it. And lo and behold, they reappear and keep reappearing, and you think there's no way they can survive in that muddy puddle, frozen, herons eating them. And yeah. So we'll lime it every few years. We'll lime it and just totally start afresh. But yeah, we had crucians and tension there probably 3 years ago, and obviously they just keep respawning and keep rolling along with it. Yeah, don't really do any harm. It's just one of those things. Sometimes to break any parasitic cycles or whatever. Sometimes we'll just lime it, because leeches, argus, that kind of stuff will just stay in the pond and build up. So, yeah, by stopping it. But obviously, it's quite a natural site. So, the big fishing lake at the bottom, we will have ducks and stuff move from pond to pond. So, things like duckweed. Sometimes we'll have a problem with duckweed in the pond, or use fairy moss. It took us years to get rid of fairy moss. They sell it on eBay. I think it's a nightmare. Weird stuff. But when it goes in a pond, honestly, it will just go smother it in this reddy green fluff.
Oh, cool.
I think, it's probably one of the invasive species. But used to be sold on eBay, little packets of it for 50p or whatever. It's like a packet of doom if that ends up in your pond.
Yeah.
Duckweed's not so bad because a lot of the fish will eat it, and it's a bit easier to control. But yeah, it's just one of those sites. In an ideal world, there wouldn't be a big fishing lake at the bottom of it, but that's where the site started. It's kind of,
it's been part of its progression as to where it is. But then again, you wouldn't have your syndicate for fishing, and you wouldn't have a need. But you do produce carp.
We do carp for some of the clubs and whatever, and
Fusions and mirror carp.
We'll do different strains of carp every year. We just do a pond full or whatever. We'll keep a few for our lake, and then the rest go back to whoever wanted us to do them in the first place. It's the best way of putting that. And carp farm has gone that way as well. So carp farm has gone in from, they used to literally just chuck fish in a pond and they'd spawn and you'd move some and grow some. But now anglers want prettier fish or faster ground fish. We do specific fish scalation wise or growth wise. So a farmer will come to us and say, we want prettier fish that can grow big. And here, so we can fulfill what they're trying to achieve. Or we've got a bloodline in this lake that's grown to 60 pound and we want to keep that going. So we'll get some. It's a different part of it. And to be fair, it's more. Sean loves that. He's a keen fisherman. He loves the lake and whatever. And I don't blame him. It's quite this.
You can tell though, mate, because it's well maintained and well looked after, isn't it, down there? The main fishing lake is. I'm guessing that's where he spends a lot of his time, and he'd rather be looking at mirror carp than looking at koi. He's a fisherman. His dad's fisherman. It's in the family, isn't it? So the koi were probably a sideline to the lake originally. It's just business, isn't it? You diversified a little.
You go different directions, and koi became the way. That's what everyone wanted, and so that's what we did. And I probably drive that side of it more. But the whole. Even the aquatic plant side of it, there's different areas to it all.
Have you never thought about, I mean, I know how Daz has done. Have you never thought about having recrossing the carp back in to strengthen up the strain of any types of breeds that you want, just as a bit of a sideline project? Have you never fancied having a go yourself?
We
have you done it in the past?
Done it years ago, but basically your first cross is ghosties.
Yeah, pretty much everything.
In reality, to try and create a good Sanke with carp blood, you 4 or 5 generations of no money.
Yeah,
it's just not.
And that's a long time project, isn't it?
And in reality, we're struggling to produce good Sanke to start with, so there's no point putting ourselves.
I was just wondering, if you'd never had to go, for your own personal interest. So when
well, we've done all sorts over the years, and we still do, but it's
because there are some specific types of koi that's parent side is one koi and a mirror carp, isn't there? Or a leather carp.
Not that I know of.
Would you like me to show you them?
You can, but so you've got Koi no Yen used to do what was a white magoi in their line of fish, and obviously Matsunoski was the first one that put a carp back to the Sanke to make the Sanke bigger. But you can, and obviously you see a lot of carp will have different blood in them.
Trying to find the little thing that I've got. Oh, he says no. Right, you keep talking, Rick. I'll keep looking. Because I thought there was a few. I don't think there's many, but there's a certain wagoi crossed with a mirror carp to produce whatever it was, and I've forgotten what it was. There's only a couple.
But you get the scalation thing. So you'll see things on the internet about how to produce certain scalation in fish or certain attributes. But to be fair, like I say, the ghosties you can produce from it can be pretty immense.
Yeah.
But the ghostie's not that far from the Makashi Ogon, which is like the purified line of that, which is just the old school Ogons, isn't it? I think Makashi Ogon even translate into old Ogon.
Yeah,
maybe.
Let me see if I can. I had a thing. Misidentified something or other, and it shows you all the different types of fish that you would cross to get this, to produce this, to produce that, to produce the other. I'll see if I can
one
find
of those diagrams where you got.
Yeah.
And
it shows a wagoi of something of X, Y, and Z crossed with a Deutz mirror carp produces this.
Yeah,
I would have
some of
wondered if
it's
you never-
yeah. I think some of that's a bit not so much misleading. It will give you if you cross an
A lot,
asagi,
yeah.
like
You're
a normal
not going to
scale
produce.
asagi with mirror carp, and you get a shishui or whatever, and then you cross a shishui with a, you know, a matsukawa back in. That's kind of how it might start, but it's not just one generation to create a good example.
No.
It's
The
a
chances you
process.
even getting very few of what you were actually looking for out of that. The rest of them, you could have been mixed up bits and bats of all sorts as well, aren't there?
But yeah, there is obviously realms for it, but I think the problem was some of the Sanke lines and whatever were getting so thick and so weak that when Matsunoski put in the carp blood to make them grow much bigger and stronger, then obviously you unrefine it a bit, but you get a fish that can grow double the size in terms of volume. Okay, it might be 20 centimeters longer, but it's twice the size fish, but not quite as refined. And then you refine that a bit, and that's everyone's continually crossing the Dragon Ball line. Isn't it? That's a Showa Sanke cross to create better sumi in the Sankes. But Sakai have been crossing Kahaku and Sanke for donkey's years to create the volume of the Kahaku in the Sanke and the Benny quality of the Sanke into the Kahaku. That's, if you look at their bloodlines, you can trace them back to just a handful of fish.
Yeah.
Different. They all come. Yeah. There isn't that many.
Like the bloodline tree of it all.
Yeah, and when you get an exceptional offspring, that's the one you want to keep as a parent. But that exceptional offspring might have a very tall body, or it's got a lot of qualities you want, but there might be one aspect that you perhaps don't want. The strength of it in terms of its ability to deal with parasites, but everything else about it's amazing. Or it might be that it's actually a really tall-bodied fish, but the rest of it's, all the other qualities are brilliant. So you can't help but breed from that best fish, but then those traits get passed on. And
it's eliminating line breeding them in or out, whichever you want.
Yeah, and it's like any form of racehorse, dog, anything you breed.
That's all. Yeah, it's all been through it.
You want to create the fastest dog in the world. You go down the line of greyhounds, but there'll be issues with greyhounds that other dogs perhaps don't have. But if you wanted the fastest dog in the world, or the biggest dog in the world, or the shuntiest, I don't know, some of them.
It's all what you've got to select to put in, but there's bad traits to those and good traits to them out there. Same through. Same with Oak, really, isn't it? I suppose.
Good
Same with
delivery.
Well, I don't
Look
know.
at that! I've just been delivered.
Happy days.
Oh, hey. But, yeah, I think it's breeding any animal in it. You've got, and I think it's become easier now where you can record what you're doing and where they come from. The digital world has made that so much easier. So you imagine how hard it would have been 50 years ago. You've got a good fish and your mate's got a good fish, and you swap fish and they're good. And then before you know it, you're breeding brother, sister, uncle, auntie, to the point of complete weakness. But obviously now where you can record this fish is from that, this is from that, it's really easy to know where that's come from. This parent set produced that, this parent set produced that. You put them together. Yeah, it has made the breeding side so much easier. They used to do it 100 years ago, writing down, or this fish with that funny marking come from this parent with that marking.
Even in the last 10 to 15 years, it's advanced far. Technology's advanced far further on it to make it far easier for everybody that's doing that kind of thing. Being able to,
it has. It's made, and that's why I think the hobby, almost this industry, and most industries accelerate suddenly. You get that peak where that understanding of why this is happening, why that's happening, in rearing techniques, in water quality, in equipment to do it, in knowledge of the genetics, in knowledge of the parent. Suddenly you just get this upward curve of quality fish, but there'll be a point where it sort of plateaus again, where you start hitting the limits of the genetic or whatever. But yeah, it has made it. From when we started, it was just pure magic, wasn't it? No one would tell you anything. if you could get fish from Japan, and it was trying to breed them to try and create an offspring that even resembled anything like the parent. Not as good as the parent, just even like the parent was a bit of a miracle. I still remember days producing our first ever shishuis that looked like shishuis, and like, wow,
we've done it.
We've done this.
And now look, now that'll be back in the day where there was a dark royal blue as opposed to the nice lighter sky blue. Now that most of them have got on them.
Yeah, but to have two parents you could spawn, and it was a nightmare back then. You know, obviously the knowledge A wasn't freely given, and B, you couldn't obtain it. Where do you get it? And you could pick up an old book that might say, "Oh, this fish," like you said, this cross with this creates this or whatever. But in reality, if you cross,
it doesn't.
It's like you're miles away, aren't you?
Just throws out 5,000 mutts.
And
maybe 2 or 3 of what you were looking for. And in the grand scheme of things, it
doesn't support sort of a business or whatever. But it has got a lot easier. But then the bar's been raised miles.
Yeah.
But
the fact that they can now breed fish, I mean, producing torsai to 55 cm. I mean, it's happening now, isn't it? They get into torsai within might be slightly more than 12 months, but classed as torsai still, not seeing its second summer, and yet they're pushing up to 50 cm with them. Being able to grow fish as fast and as advanced as that must be increasing the cycle of being able to get those fish ready for spawning and producing the next generation to breed this in with that and that in with the other. It's advanced so much more with the better foods and stuff and water qualities and water conditions and ways that we can keep them, that you can grow them as quick as you can. Whereas, you know, you won't see a fish hit 50 cm like till 5 or 6 year old.
Yeah, but that comes. It comes obviously with technology and all that, but also it has inherent problems. So you imagine there was a couple of farms that will grow massive fish very quickly, obviously using them because they're growing as parents, and you don't know that those fish, the longevity of those fish is incredibly short. They had inherently problems, not because of the speed they were growing, but those particular fish, obviously the way their genetics work to grow that fast led to problems later in life, but 5 or 6 year old fish were dying, kind of not so much of old age, but of health problems that you don't see till then, but you have to use them as parents because they've got there, and suddenly those offspring. That's you'll have some farms old school that longevity is a big thing. You know, so I mean, you go to Momenteros and they're doing fish, like I say, a 70 centimeter sanzai is just bread and butter. It's not even a thing, but a 70 centimeter fish 20 years ago would be taking grand champion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you only have to look at the photos that they've got over there from the major koi event, and you look at the grand champions that were throughout all the seasons that have gone by, 20 odd years, and the difference from the champions back then at the beginning to what they are like now, they're light years apart. Difference and body size.
There'd be even profile. The difference would be a lot more noticeable. From a photo, you can't necessarily see the volume and the size of the fish. If you put that 105 centimeter Sanke whatever now
next to one in a boat,
it'd be like a size 2 fish against the size. It just
they put them up last year. I mean, I could personally show you a video when I find it at some point. I'll send it through for you to have a look, and you can see they've got all the grand champions up on a wall. And then at the far side of the other side of the arena, they've got another continuation. Let's say there's 12 on one wall and 12 on the other one, and 24 in total, whatever it was. But you could definitely see the progressive change in the fish, the style, the size, the shape, from slender fish looking more, like 70, 60 cm to these massive tanks in comparison at the opposite end of the scale. And shape-wise, profile-wise, body, shoulders, mass difference that they've got in them. It was nuts to see that and look at it. It's a good video. I should get a link for it so that you can have a look at it. It's pretty mint.
I think the sort of the length, you might say, well, the grand champion was 65 cm in the first year, but 65 to a meter doesn't sound like a lot.
No, but
that weight of the fish might be from £4 to £40.
Yeah,
we're talking 10
although
times.
length doesn't look like a great deal, the mass that fish has got to accumulate to put that on in an easy task either, is it? Putting the body on it to go with the length and mass to go with it too.
But that's not all. A lot of it's genetics, but also it's that technique, the environment, the whole process all goes together.
Yeah.
But yeah, hats off to them. Once you start going over sort of 60, 70 centimeters, just it becomes so much harder to grow fish. Just it's next level. You need,
and it's a lot more difficult for them to maintain that mass too.
Everything about it becomes more difficult.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and you see videos of some of the fish at the farms, and they'll be bowled up in Japan, and you're looking at 90 centimeter Showas, and it to get a fish to that size, that volume, that condition is just so hard.
Yeah.
You know, and I say hard if you've got unlimited funds or whatever. Okay, it's not that hard. It's hard to just as a business to say, this pond here, I'm going to just put 4 fish in and raise these 4 or 5 fish for a year, and they're going to grow 5 centimeter each. You know, that 5 centimeters is massive. That's the difference between winning grand champion or not winning grand champion. But the money that goes into them, you know, you could be talking 5-10 grand going in just to look after those fish. Dedicate that pond. That's a pond you're not going to get income from, and all the rest of it.
One pond's only got that, you know, like we've seen on some videos this season, they've got maybe 15, 20 max 25 fish in that one pond, that one mud pond, and that mud pond is freaking huge. And to body them up from knee side into Sansai and growing them on that little bit difference, but they've had really good results over there though this year, haven't they?
They've had a brilliant summer. We've had a terrible summer temperature wise.
They got all our sun, didn't they?
You go get it back. but that's global, and that's just what happens. And you might have, you know, in the mountains in Niigata, they might not have a great season. In the southern Japan, they might have a great season. Vice versa, it might be too hot in the south of Japan. It might be. That's just year by year environmental in it. You can't.
Yeah, that's just look at drawing it as it happens. A lot less rain, a lot less, better sun, better quality, better water conditions. It's all part of parcel, isn't it? Really, it's not just one element. It's not just a sunny year. It's the whole lot kit caboodle in it. Growth, less losses, etc., in it. It's a whole big thing. Gary said there, we need a tech night, Gaz. Gary, I've said this time and time again. Every night of the week, I sit in a Discord channel with my friends having a natter and a chat. If there's anybody that wants any tech nights or anybody that wants any info, all you need to do is master how to join the tech night. And, well, I'm saying the tech night, the Discord channel. And I will show anybody that wants to learn anything. But if anybody wants a link to it and everybody wants to know where the Discord group is, all you need to do is go to my channel, and I'll put it up and I'll show you. Second monitor. Right. If you go to my Facebook group, and if you go there, you'll see it says more links and more. So click on that. And if you look down there, it says there, join us in Discord. You click on that, and it takes you straight to my Discord group. All you need to do is create an account, install it on your phone, and then you will come straight in here and you'll see all the lounges where everybody sits. And if you look, Jeff, Marcus, and Vicky are in there having a natter and a chat. And it's as simple as clicking on that link. Joining us.
I still can't get
off. It's as simple as that. You just got to do what it says. Just read what it says on the screen and follow it through. Make an account, give yourself a name, in you come. You'll drop into this little bit here. Drop a quick message, type in there and say hi, say hello. I'll drag you across and bring you into the room and you're there. And it's anybody's welcome. There's tons of rooms. We can have 150 people in every room. So there's plenty of room for anybody to come and have a natter and have a chat.
That was just gobbledygook to me, man.
That bit, my channel, click link, join link, install program, come and say hello. If anybody wants to know how to do anything, I will quite happily show you. If you've got a PC and you don't know how to do it, I will take control of your PC from my PC and show you how to do it, so you can see it all happen in front of you.
Then he'll empty your bank account. Don't do it. It's a scam.
I won't do anything like that of the sort. But yeah, if you want to know, Gary, anytime, mate, I'll happily show anything that I do or that I can teach you and show you. It just makes life a lot easier being able to do it. Dave Bradley says you lost me at Dropbox. Sharpie says you're showing your age, Rick. I'm reckoning that's from taking your pictures of your 24 and running down to Boots and getting them developed.
Honestly, mate, it was unbelievably difficult, and trying to send then pictures to magazines. So the original magazines we used to advertise in, you had to send pictures.
Yeah.
So you couldn't do it digitally. You had to then send photographs in the post, and they scanned them in the magazine. You can imagine the state of those pictures that were taken on a camera and developed at Boots and sent in the post, and it was.
Well, you see, the way that people do it now is you can take a picture on your mobile phone, and you can take that picture on your mobile phone. It looks brilliant. You go to a website or go to something like Instagram or go to something like Facebook, and you can upload it. It looks brilliant because those programs are designed to take that picture in the format that it's sending. But everybody wants to use stuff like Telegram or WhatsApp, and they want to forward pictures in there. Now, whilst you're looking at them in WhatsApp or in Telegram, they look perfectly fine. They look perfectly clear. As soon as someone takes that image that's been uploaded to there, they have to download it from there. Right, this is where it gets confusing. We upload, and the owner that's been sent to downloads it to him. He downloads it to his PC, but when he downloads it, when you've uploaded it, it reduces the pixels. So there are 1080s, 1000 or 1080 by, what is it? I forget, it's pixel sizes, what it is. Bear me 1 second, I'll tell you.
All I know is the few that sent them in 4K, my phone spent about an hour and a half trying to download the videos.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But in Dropbox, it doesn't. The Dropbox uploads it there. It's a floating cloud, so to speak. So you upload it to Dropbox. It sits in that cloud. It doesn't really. It's just floating around above us in ones and zeros. And then when you want to download it, you download it to your phone, and it rips it down to Dropbox, and then you move it from your phone and store it to your documents and save it there. Or Vince can go straight to it from his PC or his laptop and download it straight there, and then he's got the image file in the natural format that it was sent. And that's the beauty of it. You don't lose any quality.
Well, Tony, we love Tony, but he sent me. I said, "Can everyone send a 5-second video of their?"
Yeah, his was the longest one, wasn't it? It was full. It was a full section out of his video that he'd selected.
He sent me 10 videos of each stage of his thing, and obviously my phone's choking on 10 4K, and the video was the end video was 2.5 minutes. The other 9 videos, my phone just didn't know where to go.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's probably the fact that if you got your phone and swiped up on your screen, you've probably got 600 programs running on it because you've probably never ever shut them down. Just pass it to your son and say, "Sort my phone out for us, kid," and he'll sort it.
He goes straight on the games, and he's like that on Zombie Warrior. Never mind.
Yeah, dear me. Well,
technology is amazing. It has made koi farming so much easier. Honestly,
yeah, I can see why. Technology makes everything easier, mate, doesn't it? Then again, it disengages us a little bit too. But then again, we're engaging again. So buy this.
Do you think we'll become AI? That's the crux of the whole thing. We're all worried about AI, but we'll be downloaded and we'll become AI. No,
we won't. Not a chance, mate. No, we'll be dead way before that shit's capable. But I don't think it'd be, if you look how things go and how this guy's speaking French, Mikey, piss off, man. You're not that bad. You can show you. Well, no, actually, probably maybe not. I'm talking out my ass there. I have to show you how to do half the stuff we're doing anyway. Mike is a guy that came online. Mike is a guy that I game online with, and when I game online with him in Star Citizen, he's the guy that buys all the expensive shit, and I'm the one that shows him how to use it. And then when we've worked it all out and played the game for a little bit, we have a good laugh and a giggle along with it. There is fun to be had in it. It's good. It's a good laugh. But yeah, don't need laptops, Gary. You can load it on your phone. You can use Dropbox and upload it straight from your pictures from your and forward it straight. Some of my best friends are robots. That says you're worse than anybody that I know. You are definitely 100% the biggest tech phobe. By me dad, you're on an even par damn near it with him. But I can get it. Yeah, you can, Jeff. I mean, you say that, Jeff. You don't need a laptop, Gary. You can load it on your phone. Our phones are laptops. That's the difference. We have actually now got as powerful a PC in his pockets as what most people have got at home. That's the difference. They are far advanced now. Not only, I mean, remember back in the day when you were at school and your teachers used to turn around and say to you, you need to learn maths because there'll never be a day when you're always walking around with a pocket calculator, will you? You're not going to be carrying one of these great big around in your pocket. How wrong were those teachers, man? Because every one of us have got a translator, we've got a calculator, we've got the email device, we've got the internet at its fingertips, and we can literally do anything we want from our mobile phones from one side of the world to the other. And it's a massive, amazing difference compared to what we were 20 years ago to where we are now. It's mad. But it's cool.
Mad. It is mad.
It's not going to bury your head. You've not got to bury your head. You've got to get into it. And if you not get into it, just do a little online course. You can. There's tons of courses out there that you can teach yourself, and they're all there available from the colleges and universities for free. Everybody can sit a course and study anything you want in IT. It's free, 100%.
Yeah, it is mind-boggling. When I was 19, I went out to Israel for work on a koi farm, and I couldn't phone home, and I had to send a telegram thing.
Telegrams, yeah.
This literally special bit of paper you write on and then post it home to say that I'd arrived safely and that I was having a nice time. And they got it. By the time I was out there for 3 months, and I remember coming back, and my brother was like, "We only found out you were alive and okay. You'd been out there nearly a month before." And it's like,
that's mad, isn't it? That's almost as bad as it was for the Titanic. The back then when the Titanic sank, the newspapers used to come out weekly. And at the beginning of the paper, it said Titanic had started its major voyage, and at the end of the week, it had sunk.
It's the same paper. Literally. Ezra's just like, he's like, oh, he's chatting to me. He's in Japan getting some Pokemon stuff. Like, instant.
Yeah, it's crackers, isn't it? From what it's come from through to what it is now. I thought Dropbox came full of noodles and bean spewers. Marek, yeah. Take away Dropbox, yeah. Yeah, it's easy, guys. If anybody wants to learn, join the group, man. Join the Discord, join the Facebook group, whatever, and I'll show you anything.
It is all full circle, though, isn't it? Because you imagine, again, I used to do a paper round and nick bottles of milk out of milk floats. And they're like Teslas, aren't they? Little silent vehicles that just chug around the street. And now we've got these
now everybody's
everywhere. Creeping up.
Yeah, that's a point. I mean, and that's way off a topic, Mikey, but the magic digital coins. See, the thing is, right. This is why we maybe we should stay away from the digital coin. And the reason I've got to say this. I watched a little video and it was quite interesting. Let's say for every 50 quid, I pay the man down the road £50 for all my groceries, and he takes his £50 to go buy his next batch of groceries back in, and he buys and pays the supplier, and so on and so on and so on. That £50 always remains £50. Always cash will always be cash of £50 value. If you take a £50 payment and pay on your card, the card or the banking system wants us to pay 3.5% interest. So straight away, 3.5% is deducted from the first payment of 50 quid. That bank then moves that payment through to that company, and he spends it and he pays for a card transaction, losing 3.5%, 3.5%, 3.5% throughout the whole duration. Eventually, the £50 from the card transaction works out as about £4.50 in value once it's gone through so many hands. So cash is a good thing because it doesn't devalue, whereas the digital currency, eventually transactions devalue. So whether or not we actually get into the central bank digital currency or not, I don't know, Mikey. We'll have to talk about that one later.
That's where inflation comes, and that's why everything goes. That's where it all goes mental, isn't it?
Yeah,
we could all play either in gold or deeds.
Yeah, let's go way off the topic, man. Anyway, never mind. Back to where we was. Daz, I'm with you. We can meet up and dig us holes there and bury your heads, both of you, like ostriches in sand. I still got my old calculator made from string and beads, abacus. God damn, Daz. I know he's been truthful, though. That's the thing. I've seen him using it in his van. Sliding them across. Anybody got any topics, or would anybody like to come on, jump on and have a natter and a chat with us? We could
I've just got to stop the fan and have a... You keep them talking, guys.
Which is baked up and marked up. Mugs of CBDC and Gov. Here we go. Simon with his conspiracies. Backed up and mugged off. CBDC and Gov. Did I miss anybody else's comments while Rick's gone to go pay a penny? Fact. Yeah. I agree, mate. It is. 100%. Your country wants to put you on CBDC. Central bank digital currency. I know they do, but that's the reason why. They want us to do, because it devalues the money, mate, and they make more from it. Eventually it works out as being penniless. Right. Anybody got any topics? Could be a real short one this week. You can print off all they want. Let's just double check. Make sure nobody else has posted out, because we got nothing on the Facebook group this week. Just going to have a double check, make sure nobody's posted out in there. Pretty sure we haven't, though. And it don't look like Crafty's joining us this evening, nor does it look like Ardaz is coming on. It's going to be me and Rick having a natter and a chat then. No, nothing on there, nothing in the other one. Let's have a quick look through these, make sure I'm not missing out. You can only got to look at Lowland Grand Champion 2 years running, way back, but now the champs are immense compared. There you go, mate. Yeah, exactly.
Lulum's an amazing fish, though.
The champs are now like manatees. They are, mate. In comparison to what they were like before, they are absolutely huge now. Massive difference. But it's the body volume mass that's bigger than what it was, or what they were. That's what's noticeably more than anything else.
So how much of that's genetics and how much of that's raising techniques?
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to think it was probably 60% genetics and 40% raising techniques, because the raising techniques haven't really changed other than the food and the filtration. The system that they're still using over there is still pretty much the same as it was. They're growing them on in mud ponds. I don't know. I mean,
but they're growing on mud ponds, and then they're growing on inside in greenhouses, and then as they get bigger, they stay in the greenhouses. So, yeah, it's different.
Right. This is one, Rick, that I've pondered and looked at, and I've tried to find out more information on it. I know everybody always says there's a massive difference between a mirror carp, common carp, leather carp, and all the same, varieties of koi, all the different varieties of koi. And they're a massive, the leagues apart. But the genetic makeup of the fish, i.e. the, what's the right word? The internal layout of the fish are identical.
Well, no, because they're as unidentical as the body shape and the...
Yeah, the body shape is slightly different, but the intestines and everything, the layout of the internal organs, the full layout of the fish internally.
The layout might be, but you might have a fish that, so if you've got a fish that grows particularly tall, wide, whatever, it might have much bigger kidneys and livers. Might have different. So where the organs are might be the same, but the ability of those organs to do different jobs will be different. One of the biggest problems with big fish is obviously the surface area of the gills is the one area where obviously all the exchanges goes on, all the ammonia, all the waste, all the oxygen, and that's the one area that you can't get a lot bigger. So obviously as the fish gets bigger and eats more, it needs to exchange more. So that's why you can only go to a certain temperature as they get bigger. So technically, if you had a perfect environment, you'd raise towsite at 35 degrees. You'd raise gneiss at 30 degrees. You might raise sandsite at 28 degrees. You'd have to drop the temperature to have enough adequate oxygen for the volume of the fish to be able to cope with the exchanges it needs. So there is no one good growing temperature for a koi. A koi will have different growing temperatures or different
throughout its life.
And then you'll get like the old school breeders that'll be like, they need to have a winter, they need to have a break, they need to have a rest to get the longevity of the fish. You need to do this, and someone has to be, well, as a business, we'll do this and just grow them, boom, boom. Then they're gone to market. So you might skip different aspects for whatever
what you're trying to do.
From a business point of view, why wouldn't you grow a fish flat out for 24 months and sell it for $5,000? Why would you grow it twice as long and sell it for the same amount? Is there? I'm not saying it's beneficial or not. Who's going to do the testing to find out what's best?
The reason why I was looking into it, Rick, and it was just purely that we were looking at in carp lakes and stuff. There's the odd koi that gets wanged in there, isn't there? And whenever you see those odd koi that get wanged in there, they tend to resemble some of the monster carp that we see in carp lakes, like 50, 60 pounders that have got that big, massive gut. Even though they're of the same, not the same, but, they're the same family, aren't they? Cypricads or whatever it is, however it's pronounced.
They're all cyprinids, but the difference is you get, so one of the prime examples of Euro Aqua is a big fishing lake in Hungary. It's not so big, it's actually it's about 20 acres. And yet they've got, I don't know, it may be a dozen carp to around 100 pound, but they got 2,500 carp in that lake. So the numbers of 60, 70 and 80 pound carp are off the scale, like insane. And it's to do with obviously the food availability of that lake is they're fed to the point of what you'd think would be insanity, but the amount of fresh water that comes up from the springs, the way it's managed, these things are huge. But genetically, yes, they're good growers, but it's the environment that's made that many fish, and the environment is not natural. There's people fishing it, chucking in,
tons and tons and tons of bait.
Two anglers will chuck in nearly a ton of bait in a week. So you work that between them, so there might be 5 ton of bait, 5 ton of food going into that lake a week.
God damn.
So that's
all the carp, or the koi carp that seem to grow or get into these fishing lakes and seem to grow. They all seem to take on the characteristics of the big fat gutted carp, don't they? Have you noticed?
That could be those that survived the freedom of that amount of food.
They don't seem to stay that torpedo shape that we seem to keep them as koi keepers. And is that purely because of environment that they can just gorge themselves and become fatter and fatter and fatter with?
Partially, no. I think it's more to do with the quality of the fish you keep in the koi pond. A lot of the Deutsch varieties would go like that.
Yeah, most of them that we saw were Deutsch ones. But then, let's say, for example, we saw one that was a 64 pound. I think it was a Benigoi or a Yama, one or two. were like 60 odd pounds. It was fucking huge, but it looked just like a massive, great big common. Bit of a gut to it, bit of a, and it resembled more what you would think of a natural wild fish being.
If you saw some of those old Japan fish, a massive meter-long fish from Momotaro or Sake picked up like that, I think you'd be surprised at the sheer size of them.
Size, depth, and guts to them.
They're massive. They're not, from on top, they might look nice torpedo shape or wide, but submarine shape. But they're still got.
But when because when they were holding them like this, it was big gut to it and everything. Yeah. So so being able to see those up close and in person, they actually, and out of the water, if you can hold that mass up, you would see the more natural.
Yeah, they've got a height to them. Yeah, definite. Yeah. But there's.
They just don't look at the photos when you look at them. They don't look like they are.
No, but they're obviously they're specifically picked. When you're picking fish to grow on massive. In terms for a koi show, you're not picking one that's carrying. So a lot of female koi will carry their eggs differently. So we'll have some varieties, Showas, Shiros. Quite often, when you're getting big and they start the females carry, they quite often from on top they look fine, but from underneath they almost drop.
Yeah,
you get the crop, and then right to they carry a lot, and then you get other fish. And again, a lot of the Matsunosu, so some of the Momotaro line Sankes, they'll carry it a lot tidier. They almost don't look like they're carrying eggs, but actually they are carrying a lot of eggs, but they carry them in a slightly different way. But you get that from different varieties, different individuals from different spawnings. That's I mean, the two golden corns I got from Crafty, the two females, one is carrying her eggs like a big fat chagoy, one's carrying her eggs really neat and tidy. So when I cross them, I'll pick for the one that's got the bigger body, I'll cross it with an Asagi line fish that have got a much neater. The way that their body holds is just different. Whereas the other one, I can cross perhaps with more of the Krashigoi stuff. So you can manipulate the body line. Are you being fed on camera?
I'm being supplied with crisps, chocolate. I think my wife's turned into a feeder and some Pringles.
Oh, they're all brand names. Do you not go to Lidl's?
Shit. Yeah, other brands are available. Get that one in. Oh, thank you. Thank you. She's just been
the way a body line of a fish. When you hear people talk about the structure and the way when they're looking at fish and talk about the body line and how a lot of that is more to do with the underside and the shape. Males are a lot easier to have good bodies, but they tend to start becoming a bit slimmer. Now, decent farmers, you get bigger bodied males, but that's because they're picking bigger bodied males to breed that are showing that characteristic. But certain varieties are notorious for it. You know, Shiros have always been horrendous females for getting too fat. So that's when you see an 80 centimeter Shiro that's got a good body. It's a rare beast.
Yeah,
because a lot of them are
more
quite eggy.
More resembling what you would think of seeing a natural carp to look at that sort of size as well. Yeah. Deeper, bigger bodied.
And Showas go down the same line as the Shiros, whereas the Sankes, a lot of people have struggled to get the body on Sankes. Obviously, Sake are one of the places that do, but obviously that's come from multiple lines of breed and using Kahaku into the Sanke lines to get that.
See, I told you we had some random conversations in Discord and some random pictures that we find looking at and thinking, like, look at that bust. That literally just looks like a common carp, but it's obviously a koi. And you're thinking, God damn, I wonder if they all get like that as they get that size and get to that. You see, like, for example, those two Karashi guys that you've got. There's two. Oh, well, you've only got the one now, haven't you? Sorry. Yeah. So the mass of that when that's picked out and lifted out of the water resembles. I mean, a Krashigoi looks probably quite close to a mirror carp, doesn't it, or a leather carp, or a linear mirror.
They're not as big. The Krashis aren't as big as some. They do tend to have a better shape, some of them. But yeah, there was massive. Every variety will have like a shishui. So we cross shishui and asagi to create some of the Ginrin. The shishuis tend to have a shorter, stumpier, deeper shape than the asagi. That's even when you cross the two, they come out, and the Deutsch ones have got a different shape, but the gap closes a little bit. So we've got quite strong body, deeper asagi, and nicer shape shishui. But it's
again
it's
more selective.
Inherently in them. So if you pick a fish, you can go to fishing lakes in France and catch a 70-pounder that's long, lean, like a giant torpedo. And if you use that as a parent to create, and again, the Koi no Yen ones, that magua they use was like 130 centimeters long, but a real powerful but not deep shape. And obviously that got reflected in a lot of the offspring. So they cross it with different stuff, and you get these great big long, nice submarine shaped offspring. I don't know, I've not heard a lot from them, to be fair, for the last few years, but they were doing a lot of work with one particular male with lots of different females of different varieties to create an ideal body shape in all the different varieties. Hats off. I mean, it's a lot of work to then.
Yeah, but it's a progression again, isn't it? It's a lot of development, but it's a long time to wait to see the results. But I suppose, Rick, when you think about it realistically, when it's been as they've been in Japan, and they've done it through generation, from grandfather to father to son, those changes that have come from way back through from then now right through to what we're seeing now, and then another 3 generations time again, it's crazy to think what they could actually be like in another 80 years. Mad.
Yeah, but hopefully they'll deviate. So you the whole point with the koi is you've got someone, the breeder has an idea in his head, be it perfection in terms of sashi, kiwa, quality, skin quality. Don't care about size. Don't care what I want. So his fish might only grow to 60 centimeters, but look absolutely mint. And the next guy's like, I want a fish that's just going to get as long as possible, or as big as possible, or all these different. Everyone has a different idea of what they're trying to achieve, and that's why Japan is quite special. That you've got that many farms, all
doing their own little thing.
Yeah, doing different. One trying to do the best Ginrin, one trying to do the best this, one trying to do the best that. And you'll have phases where everyone's chasing a certain thing, and then so that becomes out of fashion now. That's devoid almost, and everyone's after something different. Longevity was a big thing, but that's not perhaps such a big thing anymore. How long do these fish live? What does it look like today? That's what I want to buy. Looks nice. It's different, isn't it?
It's mad. It's a couple of people. Well, there was a couple of comments in there that was. Sai put in there. I'm not surprised with all the Sake and Dainichi bloodlines used. So that's the thing in it, that they're what they've produced and what they seem to be setting the whole lot up for the bloodline and bloodstock that a lot of people are using to put into their lines of whatever they're producing. There's a lot of other genetics used by a lot of other breeders that have been produced by some of the top ones, isn't there? More than
there is, but you also get that weird cycle. So if you imagine Saki, that they've produced the best koi, Kahaku Sanke, they've basically taken grand champion for how many years, but they've got the money to give the fish the environment to be that good. If you take those fish out of that environment, are they that good anymore? If you can't give them that environment, they can't get to that size. So you can buy the parent. Like we use them. We buy the parent. We breed them, but the offspring don't perform as you'd hope to get to the parent because we can't give them the same environment.
Yeah.
So they can't reach that same
potential that they've got them to.
Yeah, they can't reach that same point. Whereas we could buy fish from somewhere else and breed them, and actually they go beyond the parents because where they're coming from, the different environments, you've got to find what works for you, what you can.
Well, you found that out in your experiment that you've done. Well, sorry, experiment, but the growing that you've done, it's a lot more of an eye opener as to just how much environment is a major part of it all, isn't it?
It is a massive part, and we've known it, and they know out there. But so you've got to work with. You want to buy the best, but you've also got to buy something or use something that works for your environment. And also, if something works for your environment, then whether it's a variety or a bloodline or whatever, then that's the road you got to try and go down. But as our farm supplies our shop, and people that come into our shop, even if I said, "Oh, we're only good at breeding Asagi and Shishui," so that's all we've got. The shop would go bankrupt, wouldn't we? It's done work.
You wouldn't get the trade coming through, would you? You've got to cater to all for all.
So we have to find a way to make it all work.
Yeah,
somehow,
or find a happy balance, happy intermediate area. Philip King's asked there: is it okay to heat your pond all year round?
Ask your wife.
Well, you've always said heat and stability is one of the best things for coining it, and they all, as you've just said there, as they all go through from one age to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. There's different temperatures where they will thrive rather than just survive. Certain sizes, certain areas. I would imagine that they live better in warmer environments, don't they? So heating your pond all year round is a good thing, but no one thing from doing so reduces its lifespan.
Yeah, but it is. No, it will potentially reduce its lifespan if you kept your pond at 24 degrees constantly. But you might reduce its lifespan from 50 years to 40 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you let it go cold, you might reduce its lifespan to 2 years. If you let it go cold, depending on the type of fish you buy, and
it can go the opposite way, can it too?
Yeah, it is tricky. So you get a lot of the big farms in Japan. Literally, those fish they're grown, they stay hot, they're grown, summer, winter, whatever. But you also get the old school. They got to have 3 months fasting, not fed a bean, sitting in cold environments. In our day and age, you probably do get hardier fish, and you probably get better longevity. But everything's so fast paced now. Are you gonna buy a fish and wait 7 years for it to blossom? When your water, you might have 7.
It might not blossom for 14.
I think the problem is heating a pond here. You might be talking about keeping it at 18 for the winter and 24 for the summer. In Thailand or whatever, they might be saying, "Oh, I've got a Chilma pond. It's been 35 most of the year, and I've got to drop it down, give them a winter at 20 degrees." It's all relative to where you are in the world, and what you're trying to achieve with a fish. Like I said, there's no. In a perfect world, you'd have 6 ponds for different ages of fish, because the ages of fish want different environments to do their best. So you can't have one temperature that suits all. You can't generally feed one food that suits all. You can't have one set of water parameters that suit all. So we're always in a situation where you just got to do the best. It's somewhere in the middle, isn't you?
Yeah, if you can find a happy balance. There's another one there. That's George asked, Rick, what have you still got to harvest? What koi have you still got to harvest?
I think we've just got 8 ponds of tozai left to do.
You know, so you nearly caught up that month that you said you were behind.
We've been nearly into December. We started
You've been there.
We started in September, whatever. So it's been a while. But yeah, it never really ends, does it? Because you're always moving fish, and yeah.
This one's been touched on a lot, but we will go through it for Gary. What do you think about covering unheated ponds for the winter?
I think technically it's a good thing to keep crap out. it's a bad thing to see because you can't monitor your fish very easily. If you can cover it in a way that you can go in or see the fish.
Polytunnel style.
Yeah, if you've got greenhouse polytunnel style, 100%, because you can go in, you'll spend more time in there because it's a better environment when it's raining or whatever. You're giving the fish, even if you're not heating them, they'll be probably 5 degrees warmer without the wind chill, about everything.
Yeah.
Just putting a sheet over your pond or balls over your pond or whatever, yes, you'll trap potentially some heat in, but you can't monitor the fish. You can't see what's going on and what you're trapping in. If you're trapping in a bit of heat, you're also trapping in gas exchange. Balls let gas out, but they're not as good. Yeah, I'd much rather proper, like I say, greenhouse, polytunnel, whatever thing, so you can be part of the pond or not at all. Because just putting sheets over the pond, you gains a couple of degrees, but your loss is not seeing what's going on.
Yeah, and if you've not popped out to lift them up to have a look, which technically if you are, you're probably losing those few degrees because you're chilling it off doing so. If you've missed something, you've been a couple of days or maybe a few weeks that some people might go without having a look, you could potentially have a heat load of trouble going off and then you've never even noticed it.
We've got some that are covered and I hate it. It's a nightmare because and even if you've got a hatch where you lift to feed them, fish come to you and you feed them or whatever and they look all right, but you can't see the fish that aren't all right. But in your brain, you're like, well, they're all right.
Yeah, because the majority is
see them ones,
yeah.
But you can't see those that perhaps aren't all right. Yeah.
Lures you into a sense of
I don't think the net gains
security.
Yeah.
There you go.
Everyone's got whatever. If wind chill's a problem, but the reality is if you can make something boxed higher that you can see in and be part of it.
I'd like to do mine and make it from my fence and make like a polytunnel arch over it so that I can keep that, but something that come the summer months is removable, and that way then I can keep a little bit, maybe 4 or 5 degrees warmer through the winter months, make it a little bit more less of a issue for them. But yeah, where do you put some at that size when you've done with it? I mean, it's where do you put a 17-foot polytunnel once you've gone through winter? You've got to make it so that it's detachable, but the plastic sheeting's not really a detachable item, is it?
No, and it is. And you do see it's difficult. You can build covers and do stuff, but a lot of the time it looks a bit of an eyesore.
Yeah.
So if you do it nice, Tony's done his nice, and it's boxed in and it's lovely, and he's got a square pond, so it makes it life easier. Yeah, we're at a pagoda and whatever, and you can box it in. And for someone who's using a heat pump, fantastic. He's gonna save himself
maintaining that heat, keeping it in.
For the money that's being put through the electric, he's saving it for what it's cost to do that. It kind of balances out, but yeah, it is kind of a tricky one, depending on the type of pond you got. Yeah,
unheated, pointless, with your polycarb types covering it over for the few degrees that you might be looking.
It is, especially if you're a lot of filtrations then out exposed anyway, or you got water. Yeah,
returning above water, being taken out from bottom,
showers, blades, waterfalls, all those kind of things. Yeah, are massive chillers during the cold. If we have we haven't had a cold winter for a few years, but yeah, if we have one of those proper cold ones, you'd almost go back to old school where you shut everything down because you don't want to stir the water up.
Yeah.
But I think every pond's different. You've got you just got to know the basics, haven't you? If it's that cold, switch stuff off. Ideally,
that's what I had to do for three or 4 days last. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I think it was last year. Just purely because I'd left it running. I'd got the ice starting to form when it was hitting the netting. After it started hitting the netting, that was sagging. that was getting more water starting to hit on top of it, and then it become to a point where that was starting to trickle and cascade. And I thought, if this is left running, eventually it's going to work its side at pond, and it's going to end up pouring the water out of the pond.
Not only that if the water's that cold, it's freezing on the netting and everywhere else. You're just putting ice, literally.
Just super chilling water back into the pond. So I just switched it all off. It froze for 2 or 3 days, and then it defrosted, and everything were right as rain. I just switched it all back on again.
Yeah, it is an issue. Every pond's different. I think if you've got any worries about it, speak to the person that built it, the person, your local supplier, whatever, your dealer.
Shit,
the problem is if a lot of ponds you switch off, like a UV might sit there full of water, and then it's going to freeze.
Yeah, then you run the risk of it cracking and freezing. That's the only beauty of what I've got. Everything cascades back down to the pond. So as it comes out, everything comes out and it's empty. There's nothing left in. And my main filter system is in the shed, which is that inside that shed is like 10 degrees warmer than outside. So I have a little heater I could put on in there just to warm it up a little bit, but it's pointless. I've done that. I left the heater on in the winter period. When I went back in the following day, I'd been out there, sat outside in the shed having an hour and a chat with everybody, just doing a filter clean. And I put the heater on just to warm my hands up. I forgot I left the heater on. And when I went back out, it was 42 degrees in the shed. It was fucking red hot. I opened the shed door, it was just boof, big cloud of heat just hit me in the face. Like, God damn, it's warm in here. Even plastic bottles had started to swell and bulge with the pressure inside them. With stuff like I had a jet washing liquid to go with your jet wash for cleaning your patios and stuff. That had swollen so much it nearly burst. It was that warm in there. So yeah, it holds its heat well.
It's all insulated, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is fully insulated. And I only fully insulated it in the hope that I could perhaps maybe keep a bit more warmth on the filter system to prevent it from having the 3 barrels in there and that freezing like it might do on the outside. I can switch the first one off. I have that trickle tower, so to speak. I can have that switched off. That's outside. That's separate to the main system that I can just keep running. So that one gets turned off when it comes to winter months. I don't have to be, like you said, super chilling it and running it back over. Daz has put a question in. Hang about. I might have missed her. There we go.
Missed her.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We've been waiting for hours to get in. Cheers.
Yeah. He's
That room since 7:30.
You lying shit, all right? That literally just joined instant. There was another question here. Could you make, say, a grass carp ornamental and cross it with a koi?
Probably.
To make it look.
We got albino grass carp, but they're horrible.
They're ugly, man. The faces, the heads on them are horrible in comparison to a koi. I think they're proper ugly things. But could you cross an ornamental a grass carp with a normal koi? Well, would that cross work?
Not as far as I know. We've crossed certain things, but we've crossed goldfish and carp a few times.
Seen that one. Seen shibubkins done. Seen goldfish done.
Yeah, so shibubkins and goldfish are the same. They're crucian carp. They're the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think silverhead carp, big head carp, grass carp. They're too far apart to
cross over. And so the shibubkin is an spin off the goldfish, and the goldfish is actually a spin off from the crucian carp, isn't it? It is a descent.
Yeah, they're from the same different lines. So when you do koi, you see some of the same weird. So like a normal goldfish or whatever, and a shibubkin, you see those from some of the koi lines.
Yeah,
in koi, and the koi and goldfish are so similar that you can cross them and create. Well, we used to call them little donkeys. They grow. They grow like dinner plates. They're quite a strange beast. But apparently they're mules. I don't know. Apparently,
so they won't be able to reproduce themselves. You know,
I never. We did some pond clearances where we found some of the ones we'd sold 20 years ago, and they were like just footballs. But yeah, none of them seem to be male or female. They all just seem to be ghosty footballs, no barbels, quite weird looking thing. They're all right for, might as well call them Tamasaba, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just
my dad.
I had a question, right? So I got a thing selling a load from Japan, right? There was fantails, calicos, sarasas. They were all classes Tamasaba. What's a Tamasaba? What point does in my head, when I originally saw them 10 years ago at Koi Water Barn, they were all red and white single-tailed fat goldfish, and they were being sold as Tamasaba. And I presumed that's just a Tamasaba. But now you're seeing, the calico shabumpkin ones, double-tailed ones, and these were coming from Japan as Tamasaba, but they were just
well, they're all throwbacks, aren't they? They're all throwbacks because they've not actually. We could do with somebody that knows a bit more about it, but they're all throwbacks because they've not actually established a set breed because they're still crossing things into them.
So what is a Tamasaba?
What is a Tamasaba? It's a Ryukin cross something or other, isn't it?
Yeah, but if I'm going out to buy one, is it red and white, or is it?
Well, this is the thing. That's what I thought because all what I'd originally seen with the Tamasaba was kahaku type patterns on a fat rugby ball shaped goldfish, and now it would seem that they're bringing out black ones. They've got Achiba style ones. There's loads in there.
Crafty, you're over there. I don't know how. You're over there to me, but I don't see. For years, the only ones I ever saw were the red and white single-tailed fat like fat Sarasa fat around or whatever. No, there was no head funk. There was no double tails. There was no long fins. It was fat goldfish, fat red and white goldfish with a single tail that grew big. And now we're being sent stuff from Japan. Oh, this pond of Tamasaba are available, and it's like, but that's just a pond of fancy goldfish. Every which way.
I've got in there as those Tamasabas there. There's long fin. There's a standard short fin one. There, look. But the vast majority of them are red and white.
Fat goldfish, yeah.
Fat goldfish, yeah. But there are different traits out of all those, and those are only from one cross of one type.
Yeah, I don't know what the
criteria is to make
definition. Whatever, it's not like.
I don't think they do. Yeah, because it's not.
It might just translate into big goldfish. Crafty's googling it as quick as he can.
Do you want me to put you out your misery? I'm sending you over, Gaz, a picture.
Well, they haven't been. This is the thing. They haven't been recognised within the fancy goldfish community yet because they haven't got a true line to them.
Because no one knows what they are yet.
Let's get them bloody gloves.
Talking about. Where did that one come from?
Messenger, mate.
Oh, crap. All right, so you've sent in. Rumours abound as to the percentage.
The parentage of the Tamasaba. You'd be right to think that they look like a single-tailed Ryukin. And the story goes that they were created by crossing a Ryukin with a single-tailed. What? Sayone? Is that right? Sayone, now no longer available. The Ryukin is, after all, a Japanese variety named after the Ryukin Islands. The
I was wiser up. Every time she gets.
Archetypal Tamasaba is a steeped back, deep-bodied fish with a tail dorsal fin and usually a strong and red and pure white coloration, like their koi brethren. The best fish have the strongest, most scarlet-stepped red pattern, like a kahaku koi pattern, divided neatly from the purest white body, and most of all, of the highest quality fish I've seen exclusively have all white fins. Right. So I've got a question then. Here we go. I have to ask you all, what is this? I'll have to ask you two. What is that?
A unicycle. That's a ranchu. What's a ranchu?
It's got a fun tail, isn't it?
Ranchu, isn't it?
I would have said that were a ranchu, but I don't. That looks like it's got a split tail.
It's got a double tail. I'd say it's a ranchu.
Yeah.
So there we go. Right, hang about. I'll come back up to your question there, Si. So there's one that's been put in. I'll come back up to it, mate. I'll stop sharing that. I see if Gaz, you have the paper. I do have the paper. Rick, do you want me to send you all this information on Tamasaba? I've got the original true breeding lines of Tamasaba. All the information from the first person that actually developed them and started doing the true lines of breeding them. What is that? Is that a Ryukin then, Vic?
No, that's a ranchu.
It's a golf ball with fins. It's a Ryukin. But that looks very much like a Tamasaba, doesn't it? If it had a single tail, it would look. But a single tail is a Ryukin reject, because a Ryukin should have a double tail.
Well, ranchus ain't got a dorsal fins, have they?
All right, yeah. I'm going down the wrong path now.
Ranchus don't have a dorsal, but that one's a Ryukin.
Yeah, Ryukin. Oh, that's what you meant, weren't it, Rick?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I said first time. I've had a few beers now.
Whichever or whatever they are, the Ranchus have no dorsal. A Ryukin has a dorsal. There we go.
My issue was that I was being sent from a Japanese farm a whole bunch of fish. Let's say there were red and white, there was calico, there was double-tailed, long-finned, single-finned. It was just a pond of fancy goldfish.
Yeah. I think that's half the problem. There's that many different lines within them now that there. I mean, everything. It's like if you breed, there's always some that breed koi. There's always some that look like a Miracarp, isn't there? Or look like a common, and not really often. You know, there's the generation throwbacks that come back out again. I would imagine that they're probably in the same process with Tamasabas. I don't know enough about them to even know. I just think a big fat Tamasaba looks cool when it's feeding like crazy in your pond. They're all beautiful and commanding.
Yeah, if you breed two Ryukins, you only get Ryukins of different levels. Whatever. You don't start getting calico ones or whatever ones. So
that's a Tamasaba, isn't it?
Nope.
No, that's just a fat goldfish then.
See, that's a Sarasa comment.
That's what they've been bred from.
Because that was the first original. I'm getting messages left, right, and centre now. So that's the first fish that
goldfish that was bred with Ryukin in order to make the Tamasaba.
So that's just breeding a red and white goldfish with a red and white goldfish with a taller back to make a red and white. But that's what I've always seen as Tamasaba, like that.
Look at the next picture, and you'll see the difference.
Oh, Crafty, I've missed you. Look at that. That's a orange and black.
Not that one. The other way, Gus. Right, there's your Tamasaba.
Well, that's a long-tailed, isn't it?
That's a long fin, yeah.
But that's a Ryukin with a single tail.
It's a Tamasaba.
See, I literally do. Oh, not them bits. I literally do have there The standard of the evolution for the Tamasaba goldfish. And all this lot, Vicky, there.
There you go. Is it even? I thought that was the same fish.
bloody fish.
It's not. It's slightly off. And that's the evolution of them, isn't it?
No, but that's not evolution.
The
That's
Japanese
concentration.
Japanese champion Tamasaba.
In 2015. Who's that from? Mauritian. He's taken all the awards now, Mauritian, for Tamasaba.
Don't know, don't say, mate.
Let's see that closer, Gaz. Show me that picture again. Is that
The high back on it and the round belly.
that is what you call a dinner plate, isn't it?
All in all,
That's in it. Let's see what else is in here. There will be. Right. There you go. That is the same fish.
Put the big
That's
the same type of goldfish that you just put out that
the
whatever type.
Showa. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get them anymore, can you? The Saboa.
The Saboa that took first place in the GSGB show 2010 AOV class, and that's crap.
Yeah, so 15 years ago.
That one.
But that's the evolution of the fish, isn't it?
Well, that's the Saboa that took.
But my problem is not, is it? When I'm getting sent fish available and none of them look like that, they're just all being classed as Tamasaba. They're just someone's trying to sell a shitload of fancy goldfish for, well,
All sorts.
I'm not going to say how much they were.
And everything.
Yeah, mental.
But there is a lot of different varieties. They're bringing out different colours in them and everything now, aren't they, as well? But I think that's just to make the yellow bananas and stuff. Yes, it's the same thing. People have started to like the look of a Tamasaba, so now they're giving them Tamasabas that represent different types and styles that, more people might purchase again. Fancy goldfish. What is
how's your shipment sold in, Crafty?
Really well, mate. Yeah, really well. Quite happy, to be fair, mate. Yeah. The NND Tancho Sanke needs a bit of conditioning, but other than that, can't grumble, mate. They've gone straight in. I only got one of those Aragoki left now. 2 more are sold already, so just one to go.
We go.
Fly now.
Sell mine for 900 quid. I'll split the difference with you.
All right. On. Okay. I've been offered $2.5 for that.
Fucking hell, mate! I'll fucking take it. What?
Can't no.
Why?
Mate, I spent probably 20 minutes back and forth to this customer who said, "How much is it?" I passed the price. Said, "That's far too cheap. Let me give you what it's worth." And I was like, "Well, that's the sale price." He come back, "Look, no, that fish is worth $2.5 grand." I said, "Fair enough." I said, "It's already sold, but I've got another one." And then he come back with, "Do you ship to the USA?" Oh, I fucking don't. There's about 4.
You'll take it in your suitcase.
Yeah, 4 or 5 Americans have messaged me over it. To be fair,
Could you not do a one-off shipment? Can you not get something like that sorted out just for a one-off shipment? No.
You need
You
an
probably have to go back to Japan.
Or is it even worthwhile? Is it even worthwhile trying to do?
not worth the money, mate, or the stress. To be perfectly honest, you got to get it through customs and get all the vets done again, and it's just I ain't got time.
Gaz has some catfish Tamasabas in his tank too.
He's more talkative in the comments than he's read on here, isn't he? He's normally asleep by this time of night as well. I reckon he's been on the show, but
It could have been, mate. It could have been. If
fair
anything, I
play,
just hope he's feeling a little bit better, mate. How's my new calico Tamasaba settled?
Try them tonight.
Very well.
Do you want some?
They've done very well. All the fish have. All right. I'll get the pictures sent over.
Crispy coated peanuts. Are those knobbies? Are those like knobbies nuts?
No, these are Alistair's.
They're Rick's nuts, I know.
That's Rick's nuts.
Zoe's just delivering, mate. She must be in a good mood.
Yeah, I got
Delivering me beer,
to get
peanuts.
Pringles and to get cheese and onion walkers and a chocolate bar. I'm being looked after.
There's only one letter you got to change on that.
The thing back up here. Hobgoblins. That's supposed to be really nice. That.
It is lovely, but you've only got to change one letter to make it wrong.
Rick, do you find it common to find young females have slightly slender bodies than males to begin with?
So I'm getting so much trouble. Yeah, you tend to find males are much bigger and stronger in the first year. So a lot of people pick, if you're picking toe side, the big strong ones are almost always males. But they lose that, and the females then are late bloomers. The opposite to the human world, maybe. But yeah, 100% males. I think that's why you get so many like fish that are picked out as tozo and sold expensive. They won't sex them in the auctions as well because they generally know quite often they're males, and they just look better. The structure of a male when they're younger looks better, taller, bone structure, everything about them, but not always the case.
Seska says Gaz just sent you what my pond looks like this winter on Facebook. Is it?
Has it got a red umbrella over it? That's good. It's not good.
Where did you post it? I guess you'll post it on the chat bit. It's not a pond now. Now it's from I think I've seen it because it's all pretty smart. You put the old pop-up strut side on it and everything. Yeah, if memory serves. Where the hell's my own post?
So we're going for about the 4th of December, 14th. What we're going 14th of December.
Oh yeah. What Saturday works for you, Crafty? If we go on to Saturday, 7th for the 14th of November.
December.
Sorry, December.
We'll keep it yours.
Or the 24-hour live.
Let's have a look.
We need to see if we can get one that works for everybody.
I do think if we can get 24 YouTube channels to sponsor £10, they can have an hour linked to yours and be on it. That's like 24 countdown to the big whatever, and they can advertise their own stuff as they're doing it.
Yeah, well, everybody gets to showcase their own everything themselves, don't they?
Their ponds, their stuff.
Why am I not seeing this post that's just been posted? Sure, you just posted it in mine. Ah, there we go. Yes, I found it.
They are Nobby's nuts, but they're good. But look at the size of the packet.
14th
kilo for £1. No, quarter of a kilo. Sorry, 200 bargain. Alistair.
Nobbies, cheaper version of Nobbies. I'm gonna have to mute it though because you can put music on, and I'll only get demonetized for it.
That is how you winterize your pond, man.
That is how you turn a garden pond home build into a full-on greenhouse.
Do you know what they've not done right? You need to extend it a little bit so you can get in and shut the door. and enjoy the warmth of the fish.
Yeah, if you'd have had a nice walkway, I mean, obviously, it might be, Seska, it might be the fact that you've got limited space, but if you had a walkway around it, it would be even better, wouldn't it? But I mean,
You don't need a walkway. The front bit there, you just put like a bed chair, sunbed thing, so you can shut yourself in there and enjoy the heat.
Or a hammock.
Or a hammock.
From one side and just lay over at top of pond, just sprinkling food underneath them.
That will never be on YouTube when you fall out, will it? Some bird spitting milk out because she's laughed at you falling out your hammock.
But that's come on a hell of a long way on it from what you started off with.
Was that Seska's pond?
Yeah.
Where's the Shiros, man?
Seska the Dark Horse.
Where are the Shiros?
Yeah, there's one there, look. There. There's one.
Two.
Oh, two there. There we go. Just to check him. That's
So
a
all
nice
you need
job,
now
isn't
is
it?
some of those, what is it? Some of those plants with the little, they grow like a little pot on the bottom that comes out of the stalk, and it's full of like really sweet liquid for flies to drop in, and it'll trap all your midges and everything that you get in there.
Pitcher plant.
Pitcher plant, is that what they call them? They'll have like a sweet liquid secretes inside.
Like a
of them.
Venus flytrap, but with a bowl at the
With
bottom.
like a cup type thing over top. There you go. Nice one. Looking great. See, that's the kind of thing I'd like to see more of. People sharing the ponds in there. Gaz has some catfish with his Tamasaba tank too. So it's a goldfish. Yep, pretty much. Gaz, you have the paper. Looks like a Ryokin to me. It's a golf ball with fins. Rancho have no dorsals. And we've gone all the way down and through. Right, Rob's put in there. Do males only have rough pecks, fins during spawning time? And why is it that Japanese always feel the fins when sexing fish, if that is the case?
It's no, and no to that answer.
So the male koi will feel rough on the gill plates. They have thickening of the the pectoral fins, don't they? But you will also feel that roughness down throughout the body of the fish, don't you? It goes.
You will, but females also develop it sometimes.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
and it's just one of those. It's a little thing that can give them away. As you look at a fish, you go, that looks male. You feel it. That feels male. You flip it over, squirts a bit of milk. Oh, that looks male. It's little, every little bit. So yes, you can have females that have tubercles. Not generally in the same way, but yeah, a proper male when it's in male time is you could just pick up like sandpaper.
Yeah,
So
they literally
the
are.
tubercles are through the body. You feel them on the fins. They're all over the place. But yeah, the first giveaway is normally on the leading ray of the pec fin. But generally, the body shape, the colour, lots of stuff to kind of give them away. So you check. When you see them doing it, it's just checking off with like a checklist, isn't it? They look at it, go, that's quite a strong body fish, could be male. Or the benny quality is very strong, could be male. Check the fins, oh, they're a bit rough, could be male. It's all just kind of pointers, isn't it? But you get fooled. You see a fish that is very big for its age, very strong bodied and very strong coloured. But sometimes they are female. But it's not. It's against the rule. It's generally the rule is that will be a male. But if you're a breeder and you go, oh, it's male, and you sell it cheap, and it turns out female, you kick shit at yourself because it's the best one of the bunch, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. That's why they don't guarantee toes eye. They look at the toes eye and they go, well, that's showing all the traits of this, and this. It's most potentially male. You check it, you do all the things, and until you see milk coming out the vent.
Now, I say a lot of people say you can turn a fish over and look at the vent, but you can turn a male fish over and a female fish over, and they look identical sometimes. They don't look.
There's slight differences, but it's not as easy as that.
It's not as easy because they say that it's supposed to have a curve for the female and a slit for the male and all that kind of carry on. But
again, going back to the books as well, and when you read the books and they say if you cross this with this, you get this amount of Deutsch scales, or you do this and this, you get that. Unfortunately, people, a lot of the literature is written from an experience of one person or a general rule of thumb or something they've even heard. And that's how this stuff becomes almost fact, that this happens because of this. And in reality, it's complete bollocks. The reality is people have just heard something and someone else heard something. It becomes, this fish, this tench is a doctor fish, or this or whatever. And it gets into folklore and it becomes, soon becomes, and he goes, and all these things that still to this day just do your head in, doesn't they? Ryan asked a question the other night. What's the difference between a Sanke and a Showa or whatever? Showa's got sumi on the head and whatever. They're born a different colour.
That's why I couldn't understand why he didn't answer that question. But
Ryan doesn't see him from that age. He sees him from a point of view of
Sanke comes from a white
later in life, and he can recognise a Sanke and a Showa just by looking at them. But actually, to describe that without being at the early process is quite difficult.
A Showa born from a black fry, or are black as a fry. So they're a black base fish with a white and red pattern, whereas Sanke is a white base fish with a black and red pattern.
Yeah, but you can't. At some points, you can't necessarily see that. But like Alan might say, if you look in the mouth and you see black in the mouth, well,
is that true?
Generally, aren't going to have that, and Showas generally will have that. Because it's in the base of the fish, isn't it? You're looking at where it's come from. But if you don't, I see him from Dot. Ryan sees him at a point where he's buying them and can see them and understands that. But it's hard to describe that. He knows what he's looking at, but actually to describe that, it's actually, it's different, isn't it? I know it's different, but how do you say it's different?
The male fish always generally leaves the toilet seat up.
It's true.
Yeah. So right, is that right then with the black inside a Showa's mouth? How far down its mouth is it? Is it not? It's not.
It's not necessarily. The point is, because it's a black fish from base, so elements of it will be black, like you say, in the mouth or wherever, where a Sanke wouldn't be, because it's not. So you're looking at parts of it that are different.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I get you that. So it should still have some of the black traits within it.
There is points, but about a year old, some Sanke and Showa are literally
unidentifiable from each other.
And then when you get the Dragon Ball line, they're even fucking harder. As we were messing about with some of them yesterday, or whatever. It's like, if I didn't know they were all born white, even though they've got Showa blood in them, not a single one of them was born black. Some of them are shown just sumi to the point of insanity. But at what point does it really make a difference? If it's good or bad, it's good or bad, isn't it?
Can a Sanke become a Showa?
No.
It's like
that one didn't make me.
There's a Dalmatian turn into a golden retriever.
But you laugh at that, right, mate? But a Kahaku could become a Sanke.
Yeah.
So why you bit?
Because a Showa and a Sanke are different, aren't they?
So it's a good. But
I'll tell you
know,
mate. I'll tell you now. The book I believe I read. The book that you call, what do you call it? That fucking coy book that you've got?
The Bible.
The Bible, right? I believe I read in there that a Sanke can become a Showa if sumi appears onto the face. And that's, again, another one of those fallacies.
That's got to be.
There you go.
That's got to be.
It was in one of the, you know, like within the text, it has a little box with little factual pieces in it.
I shall search for said.
I haven't
text.
got the book anymore. I gifted it to somebody, so I'm sure that's where I read it though. So
It's a good start book, mate, for people that are interested in
100%.
getting into it.
But no, what I'm getting at is exactly what Rick's saying. Right, in that book, you know,
What you're saying is the Bible's not true.
Back then when it was written, all right,
Yeah, that's probably popular to
somebody was
believe.
told that and he believed it. You know?
There is some weird shit out there that even when I was at college, it was like, well, carp fry have to come up and take a gulp of breath to fill their swim bladder at day 2. And I'm like, well, I've already spent 5 years breeding them. I've never seen that.
All coming up on the second day for a breath.
And it's like, yeah, that's how they fill their swim bladder. And I'm like, this is my lecturer at college. And I'm like, I'm not sure about that because I've never seen that. Like, well, yeah, that's, and it's true, isn't it? Because it's written down in the book we're reading. And I'm like, well, I've never seen that. So you end up in this little argument. It's a nonsense argument, but in reality, they don't. No, of course they don't. They don't break the surface to take a gulp of air to swim. How are they going to take a gulp of air and fill their swim bladder? At 2 days old, they're this microscopic thing that's absorbing gases through their skin in the water. But it becomes fact because someone's written it down and it gets passed on until someone says, well, that's bollocks. To prove that's bollocks because it's bollocks, isn't it? That's not true. And that's suddenly, and that's how things change and develop. That's life. I don't know.
More in-depth research, new technology, more people do it and get more that gets involved in it. New things are found out. That's how we're learning every day, isn't it?
Yeah, but of course it is. But you can't just read something and just say, well, that's fact.
It needs a New Testament. You're probably right. So he probably does, mate. I keep saying to someone, I want him to send me some of this text and all this information and all this stuff that he keeps reading and researching and coming out with all this technical stuff because I find it really interesting. I do enjoy listening, reading it. I do enjoy the side of learning from it. But if you're learning from something that's wrong, then
But we're all learning from stuff that's potentially wrong until you learn yourself. Is fire hot? I don't know. It looks hot. People say don't touch it. You touch it once and you learn, shit, that was hot. You learned, didn't you?
yeah.
But are all flames hot? No. You can have cold flames. You can have a really hot flame. But that's it. You know, I think we were lucky that we learned so much how we had to learn it because the information wasn't there. If I Googled
hands-on,
it,
I think hands-on is the best way with all forms of learning.
but you Google something and you get, I'm feeling really tired today. Turns out I got thyroid cancer. Oh no, I just haven't had enough sleep. I Googled the wrong thing.
Yeah. No, it's a good analogy, mate.
But it's true, though. I mean, you can't scare yourself to death by doing that kind of shit, but that's why you leave it to the professionals that are training it, don't you? And don't Google that shit.
Yeah, but if you've got Google, that's what you're doing it. Whereas in the olden days, you did something, it went wrong, so you did something else, it went right. So you learn. You make your own judgment, don't you?
Is this why you never answer the phone when I'm trying to ring you? Because you're always Googling random shit on.
Yeah, probably. I love Googling stuff.
Always Googling rubbish. Oh, what's this? I've developed a limp. Oh, I got a stone in my shoe. God damn it.
But it wouldn't ever give you that answer, would it? If you Googled my foot, it would never say, have you checked your shoe for a stone? No, it wouldn't. It'd say, if you got plantar fasciitis, maybe you got an ingrown toenail.
You've got gout.
A number of things, can't it?
If you're not stupid, well, I don't know. We've gone off topic again, haven't we?
Yeah, a little. Ryan's Koipon says, I have a nightmare raising Showa fry, but everything else is easy. That's off to you, mate.
So yeah, he needs to become a breeder and raiser of everything but Showa. Showa are, to be fair, some of the worst. They are.
They're the weakest. I mean, from what
They've
I've
got the
seen,
most deforms in them. In every way, they got the most problems.
Yeah. It seems to be if ever you spot some of your fish and you think you're looking through your shower and you think, oh, that's a little banger. That looks really nice. That's the next one to die. The nicer it looks, the quicker it seems to kick the bucket. And then you end up with all the ones that just look cack, but they're strong as hardy as nails. You just can't. The prettier they are, the weaker they seem to be.
The problem is Showas probably are when you see a good big one, they are the best, and there's something about them. There's just next level. But even the best ones.
Glasses.
You got them in the pound shop.
Fucking mate, I've fixed them about 100 times.
If you look at those glasses, he nicked them off that dude on internet that does all that health and safety videos. Look just like his. The one that somebody submitted a couple of weeks ago said it looked like Aaron.
Looks more like Aaron than me, mate. In fact, I think it is Aaron, really.
I'm just popping out.
For a wee.
Yeah, just popping out. Daz says there. Oh, shit. Just took my glasses off. Can't read it. Absolutely, guys. Shows are a weak link. Yeah, mate. I mean, all those ones that you got through where Rick said, get rid of all the kahakus and keep all the showers. Daz, if we'd have done that, there'd have been no left, would there? One. That were it. Just didn't. Every one of them just seemed to be the weaker link, but yet the kahaku steamed through and ended up with loads in comparison. There we go, Crafter. I'm going to go for HD now. HD viewing.
Rather than fogged.
Yeah. My problem is my eyelashes are that long. They brush the inside of my fucking lenses and it drives me mad.
Same as that. When you get that little greasy mark, does your tick?
Yeah, it's like that. Your eyelashes have left like that little, and it drives you up the wall. I got 2 out of 200. There you go, Dusty.
That's all right. 1%. Well done.
Yeah. So there we go.
What how much the fucking Japanese have to do?
Hang about. Ryan's correspond. We're backpedaling there a little bit. I have a nightmare raising Showa fry, but everything else is easy. I've never had a go at spawning. To be honest,
he's had fry, but he's not done his own spawning.
So you buy him fry and growing them on, mate, where the hard work's 90% done for you. All you got to do is maintain them and get them bigger. As long as you've got good filtration and good food and all the rest of it. 80 kahaku to 2 Showa. That says. Yeah, Ryan, I've never had much luck with them all. I've got one out there which is I like it. I do like that one. My Easter show is nice. I like it. It's not
I can't stand this show.
You don't like them?
No.
I like that one. I like that one I've got. It's nice. But the Casse show that I've got, bag of crap, man. Absolute bag of crap. I got a really nice Casse shower off of Ryan, and we got it one morning, and it was dead. Just perfect.
It's a shower grow lovely.
That one, yeah.
But the Sumi is such a so slow burner, and the ones that we've had at the shop, the Sumi pops. And then it retracts, and then it pops, and then it retracts, and then it don't do anything. and then half of it comes, and half of it don't. Like, they're so hard to read.
But Lorraine says, "Stop brushing your badger live on TV."
Needed to do.
Vince has been doing that until he shaved it off. Every time he's going to go live, he's like,
"Yeah, you got to put a comb for it now and then."
And why is it you all do this? I mean, nobody that's got a short beard or stuff. Nobody does this.
I don't do that.
You just
Vince, man. Oh, like goddamn! I'm so glad you've got rid of that beard and shaved it off. Perhaps maybe not, but not keeping your normal length on.
I might-
As
I
you were
might
growing
take
that little
mine
beard,
off
and
for,
you kept doing this all the
for-
time and thinking, what's
I
all
was
this shit
think-
about?
I was thinking earlier to shave it off for charity. 'Cause
It is like a badger, though. It's like my head. My head and your beard would make a cracking badger.
I'll be a quality masterpiece.
I can't even grow one.
Masterpiece.
All this bit here is just completely nothing. Just the odd random sporadic hair.
That's your cheek. You're not supposed to grow hair on your cheek.
Yeah, but you've got some there. I haven't. I've just got a line down my down my jawline. That's it. I don't get none of that bit there.
That's
like
called
he does.
testosterone. You ain't got none.
I don't need no mate. My equipment's done its job. I don't want no more. Sorted.
Slunk the other way. Was that raccoon?
I can't understand why anybody would cultivate on the chin what they can't grow on the head. So it just looks like your head's upside down, doesn't it?
Mate, you wait. Right, I'm thinking of doing a charity shave. Yeah, for your life.
I tell you what.
Charity shave live on the
I
live.
will sponsor
happen-
you, Crafty, right? But you've got to shave your eyebrows and your head and leave the
Fuck
beard.
right off, mate. That ain't happening. It's not the eyebrows.
I think you should do the handlebar one.
I've
Those
already
big
done it.
pork chops and handlebar mustache.
I done for Movember. I done that bit there and then took that bit out.
It's a
My
clitoris
daughter-
beard, isn't it?
My daughter refused to go anywhere. You ain't going up with me looking like that. So
I
I am.
don't blame her. I totally agree, mate. It's a clitoris beard.
Alright.
I agree.
You know, like the guy out of Zulu.
That's it. The Hulk Hogan one. Yeah. Hulk Hogan.
I
After.
could do Hulk Hogan. That's easy, isn't it?
Ricky's hair and Crafty's beard could be the next generation
Next
grand
grand
champion.
champion.
Could be.
I don't know how you do it. Literally, much more than that length, and it's trying to drive me bonkers, man. Just my face itches like
that
crazy.
takes me about 12 hours to grow what you've got.
Well, that's literally a week, mate. A week and a bit. Maybe 8 days, 9 days.
The only reason I grew a beard, right, is because I'm tight as arseholes, and Gillette razor blades started to go so expensive. I fucking just went, I'm not shaving anymore.
You squeak when you walk, man. Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Wait,
You're gonna get an electric one that you can just trim it with.
no, you can't, man. You can't do electric.
Do you know what I find really weird, right? Everyone goes on about like these vapes and you can't dispose of them after a few goes. You can buy like a big razor, chuck it away every time. What? Why are you chucking a plastic razor away every day?
Well, I'm not
You can't use it much more than a couple of times, can you? Otherwise, you just
fucking
rip your face
risky
to
face
bits.
a bit, yeah, isn't it?
But that's got to be bad for the environment. But no one says, "Oh, big razors are bad."
What, should we have one that's water dissolvable?
I don't know. I'm not saying they could use a bamboo one.
How are we got onto razor blade?
Mate, tonight's been totally random. Totally
No one's
random.
asked a question all night, so we're
No.
just filling. Start
You
to
don't
finish.
chuck razors in the streets. Have you seen our dustbin men? They do. They chuck everything in Stamp Streets. If you don't go back at wagon, it gets left where it is.
But it's not their fault. They're just leaving it.
Microplastics.
Chuck Norris is still using the same razor that he had when he was 4.
Why
I
is he
just
using
have
a razor at
I just
all?
have one of those little beard trimmers and just shave it to number 0 or number 1, and that's it, done. Leave it again. I say I don't even clean shave, I don't even get rid of it all and say, so that's just from trim to now in a week, and I only get that length. That's done
Being
for
in
me.
the army, mate, used to shave all the time.
That's why I don't shave.
So
I don't-
nice when you had nice. Well, I've got about 50 chins now, mate. So
That's what the
What-
beard is to have.
It's-
I have the massive
oh, no,
chins.
it's like dusting the chins under the rug, isn't it? Out the way. You don't see it. You only see the beard. You know, if it's got a purpose, man.
Vince, are you going to grow it all back again so you can sit and do this?
He needs to. He goes like that and then starts combing it. We're going on camera soon. We're like,
The thing was, it was starting to get that little duck's ass curl, wasn't it? With the amount he kept pulling it.
he wanted to try and plait it like a Viking.
We've got any koi related stuff?
Yeah.
to talk about?
Has anybody got what we want to talk about? Or we could all have an early night. What we on? Actually, it's not that early. It's 10 o'clock. We're 2.5 hours in. But you might get used to this. 'cause
I've
it's
got another
24
beer
hours,
not
isn't
even opened yet. If we can't finish my beer,
it? No rush. Think of a topic.
I'm not doing 24 hours.
You are one of our leading experts. So end of the day, I'm just the host. I provide
then.
you this
New
foundation
topic.
to talk on.
Let's do new topic, right? I was looking into vibrations of fish.
Oh my god, I wondered where you were going there for a second.
So I was thinking, how could you make an environment better? Because obviously everything vibrates at a frequency where you're comfortable. So we've got pumps in our ponds that make vibrations and noise. And I'm thinking, well, maybe sometimes if your pump's making a certain frequency, they might not like it. And I was thinking that's a load of bollocks in my head. Went online. They're now inventing noises, vibrational noises that attract and scare carp. So somewhere like Australia, where you're trying to kill all the carp, so that they've got certain frequencies they can use now to deter carp or attract them. So you can attract them to kill them all, or detract them to keep them away. So my brain's starting to think already. Actually, we're creating certain vibrations in our ponds that will actually make fish stressed or happy. No, it's not even being thought about, is it? You've got a pump in your pond.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, we have spoke about this before, about not us, but we've spoke about it before. Somebody was saying that their fish had a place where it liked to go and hide, and it hid behind the back of the pump. And I was wondering if that was a kind of thing. Was it the safety of the somewhere to hide, or the safety of the sound or the noise or the running water? They tend to hide in some areas. So yeah, I can see as it would be a thing.
So one of the noises. I've read a whole paper on it. I suddenly got into one of those reading shit, and there's a massive paper on. They recorded noise, the water of noise hitting water, and played it, and that's a massive attractant to carp. So obviously carp go. You think fresh water coming in, oxygen, fresh water, they go to it, but it's the noise, the noise of the water hitting the water. So they play a speaker over here, and all the carp go to the speaker because of
the sound of running water,
and whatever resonance of that, and then they recorded carp eating. So obviously they must make a noise. We can't hear it, but they make a noise to record it and then put that over there. And that is a massive attractant to carp as well. So you can attract carp by the sound of other carp eating. Go, this is nice. Whatever noise they make when they're eating. But they've also got other noises that obviously scare carp away. And then you're thinking, well, actually pumps all vibrate. Everything you do, air pumps, water pumps, are all resonating different vibrations, different frequencies, that actually they're so much more receptive to those than we are. Imagine being in a little square box where it's going.
It's often made me think how disturbing it would be. Like aeration, they do a bubbler in water does make noise, doesn't it? And a pump.
Why do they call it aeration when it's just aeration?
Aeration, I don't know. Yeah, aerating.
So many people calls it aeration. It's aeration. So many. It's like, yeah, I've aerated my pond.
Cellular vibration. And yeah, right. Somebody's put in there. Did I? Where did it go? I'm sure it said, did I hear that sake growth isn't available, and it's not going to be available next year, and it's not sake growth standard, it's sake growth 3 mil pellet that won't be available or being shipped to the UK next year. Apparently.
No, it's bollocks.
Apparently it's not.
Apparently it is.
Why have you contacted suppliers and you've been?
I emails for orders, and they're still on the order form. So
that's because it's still within this year. But does that necessarily mean it will be available next year? Apparently, rumor has that it's not going to be available next year in 3 mil pellets.
So Pedigree would put out a news report, like an information email that states that that's happening. As far as I'm aware, I've not been privy to that info. So until I see it from Pedigree, then it's rumor. So, and I'm ordering for next year already.
No, Sakai growth small pellets is stopped. How I understand it is what Marcus has put there. Rubber Dinghy Rapids, bro. Been in there.
Rubber Dinghy Rapids. That is a great film.
So I've just put an order in for next year for March.
Well, there you go then.
You know, and it was on the order form to get some then. I didn't get any because it don't sell. So
Lorraine was told, a dealer told us it wasn't available in the UK anymore. They couldn't get it in.
Don't believe your dealer, man.
They couldn't, but I could have. So that Saki have actually knocked quite a lot of dealers off of the program, off the dealer program, because there was lots of people that was dealing sake out of back gardens or these garden dealerships, and actually it was supposed to be a premium product for premium shops, and they basically started to send it out to anyone, and then what we found happening is that sake was being sold at such a silly cost that it wasn't worth, it wasn't worth the money that was on the shelf. Now, to the consumer, those people that could get it, there were places selling it cheaper than cost, but I was using it as a lure to get people into their shop, in order to see whether they could pick up extra custom, etc. Well,
by saying it's, yeah, I mean that makes sense. So people go out, rush and buy it because they can't get it no more.
Yeah, I mean that's the truth of it, because
marketing hype.
When there's certain dealers that do 30,000-40,000 pounds worth of sake in a single order. So you have to, as a shop, every shelf has a product on it. So you put some on a shelf, you want it to move, right? Because it's using space, right? So you need it to turn over and pay your overheads. Certain things, like, you don't make a lot of money on sake, full stop, anyway. For the amount that you have to order and move on, you have to sell so much to get your money back before you're in the profit. That it's a slow burner. So if you're gonna stop that amount of sake, it's got to be available to people from the right places. Otherwise, it devalues what it's worth. And truth be known, if people are selling it for less than cost, then there's no point in buying it, because no one's making any money on it, and therefore, I'd rather put something else on the shelf that does make the company money and fuck sake off. And that's what it come down to at the end of the day. So there's quite a few of us had a bit of a moan about it. No more for us, because this is happening, right? If it's not making us money, then we don't want your product.
Crafty, can you put a list that are selling it cheaper?
I could tell you it is, but I'm not going to.
The thing is, though, to be fair, as dealers, for the consumer, you all should be turning around and saying, shove your product up your ass, no matter how good it is.
Which is what we've done. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's a lot of us that did do that.
So that the price and the value of it is dropped, because what we pay for it and what it comes in at is disgusting, man, in comparison to other foods out there. It's good. Don't get me wrong, it is good stuff, and there is definitely something in there. There's definitely crack in that food or something, because the fish do get switched on to that something wrong. But the difference being in prices,
Gaz, it's going up 7% in January.
But as Gaz explained earlier, your credit card stuff's going down 3.5%. So that's now 10%.
Yep. But but yeah, it's the truth, And I think you'll find that with the budget that's just gone on as well, businesses
where they put fags, booze, and sake curry on the same budget.
No, just businesses in general, mate. Those like the budget has not been kind to my business by a fucking long shot. And I just hope that the extra money that goes into people's pocket, not only goes against the cost of living crisis, but like gives people a few extra quid to buy fish or set ponds up or whatever. Because from a business point of view, it's costing us another 120 grand a year.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, for a public sense point of view, we ain't even a tenth of what we were at.
Nope.
We're gas, electric, fuel, insurance, income tax, everything. We're taxed on everything to the point of death. Yet all those have not come down like they said they were going to do. Fuel hasn't come down to the rate that they said it were going to come down when we'll put it up now and hike it up a little bit and come back down. That's not come back down. Nobody's going to get a chance to have money to spend on fish, koi, because everything else is still going up and going to go up again.
The budget has hit small business or business extremely hard. All right, because minimum wage is going up from 18 plus, right, for £10 or £14 something. National insurance contributions on business rates have increased, but not only have they increased the national insurance rate, they've also lowered the threshold in which we start paying on. So now, rather than after every first £10,000, it's after the first £5,000. All right, and then on top of that, you're in corporation tax, and our bills such as gas, electric, water, they've all gone up. The product cost for absolutely everything has gone up, right? Which means that the profit that we make, another 100 plus grand on our business a year, pushes that we can put back into the business further down. So the profit is pinched even more.
Yeah. If you go back to
it's really, really concerning, mate.
If you go back to 1984 when the average salary was 14.5 grand, and the average house price at that time was 29,000. And now you look at the average salary now, which is 30k.
Yeah.
But the ice prices now are 750,000.
Yeah.
So by those reckonings, we should be on a salary now, roughly. If salaries went up with the value of mortgages and prices of houses,
150 grand.
We should be on 100 grand a year as an average salary, and we're not.
But they've been quite clever. They've been quite clever because what they've done is they've said to entry level employees that are on a minimum wage, right? We see that the cost of living has affected you guys, so therefore we're going to put your wages up for I think when did they have the last one? Probably 6 or 7 months back, right? So the national living wage has gone up again, right? So all they've done is they've pushed everybody over the tax threshold so they can charge a more income tax. So actually, it's not just business that's getting smashed; it's the people on a low earner or class as a low earner, all right? Because they're pushing them over that threshold now. They can hit them with income tax, which means that they actually don't have as much money to spend. They're
it's all bullshit.
Arseholes, mate. That's what they are.
But Mark said there, labour. It ain't labour, is it, mate? They're all the same. Doesn't matter who's in. They all piss in the same pot. And they all do the same thing. They just wrap it up in a different envelope.
None of them get away cheap, do they?
None of them are getting cheap carry, no matter who they are.
Banker Dave. He should be Prime Minister.
No, I don't fuck that job, mate.
Don't worry, they made a pint of beer 1p cheaper.
Right, back to koi crafting. What's the best fish you just got shipped in, mate? In your shop, right now, you've got 35 boxes of Niso.
3, right, so the 3 best fish I've got, the NND Tancho Sanke.
But that's
Yeah,
your personal one. You're not selling that because that's
No, I will be selling it if I can. With a bit of condition, I think will be the best one in the country that I've seen. To be perfectly
that's
honest,
a statement, isn't it?
yeah.
You've not seen my little baby.
And then I've got 2 from Yamaguchi, 1 Sanke, big fish pattern, and a Ginrin Kahaku off of him, which is absolutely fucking insane. They're the 3 best fish in my shop at the minute, like from that shipment.
didn't you say you got that Ginrin Kahaku for me?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
Oh, you did, yeah.
yeah.
You actually did, actually. You said it was yours, but you then said there was a price to follow it, which was...
There's a price to pay.
That was it, yeah. And there was a hike on it too.
Yeah. So I've got a plan because
That Ginrin Kahaku's nice, Crafter. That is a nice fish. That.
So that's going on the 24-hour auction for like £1.
is it yeah, we hope I've got a plan in place. So all fish worth selling as singles in the store will be on the website by the 12th of December.
You want to hire Carl off me? Did 90 something fish today, individually photographed, mate.
That's good.
That's fucking immense.
Yeah. So,
I've not seen the actual pictures yet, but that's pretty immense. To catch them all was a nightmare. To catch that many fish, bowl them, sort them, photograph them, move them.
it's a cute, and don't forget measure them. You know,
Yeah,
for us, the issue that we have, mate, is the issue that we have is because we've got a website with all of the stock on that's available on the shop floor. When somebody takes one, is remembering to take it off the net in order to stop a double sale.
We've got that same issue, mate.
Fucking it's not a hard process. It's just people remembering to do it.
We've never forgotten to take one off. Ever. Never done it.
Big fish pattern. So you hear it quite a lot, right? So what you have to imagine is as a fish grows, the body shape changes in a fish. Okay, so on a small fish, like for example, you could have quite a high level of benny that sits over the shoulders and down the side of the body. But as that fish gets bigger and then it starts to widen and open up so the top becomes more viewable, the sides of that fish then starts to play a fact in the pattern itself. So remembering from a top-down view. So quite often what you can do is you can frame off the shoulders of a fish, for example. When that opens up, Shiroji will then start to come into that frame. But what you're seeing now is all red, but in 2 years' time, when that happens, it's nicely framed off with the Shiroji pattern in there as well. So when you hear big fish pattern, it's about the development of the fish and what happens when it starts to open up.
So in other words, Daz, if I bought a big fish pattern,
You'd never see it.
I'd never see it. Yeah. Mark's best answer there. Don't take life so serious as none of us get out of it alive.
That's very true.
It is. Mark then says, Mr. Oxo then turns around and says, Conservatives. And we're going to do them all. Go on then. Come on, ladies and gents. It has been sat here for what now? Pushing up to 3 hours. Has anybody else got any more? Does that mainly apply to Go Sanke, the big fish pattern then?
Yeah, pretty much.
Technically, the big fish pattern, any pattern should be.
Yeah.
Any pattern fish should apply to, shouldn't it?
Because we're it more in Go Sanke.
They're all supposed to be above the lateral anyway, aren't they? Technically, that's what they were originally.
No. It all depends on the type of fish, doesn't it? But
no, imagine a shishui. They look better when you start to see the benny on the flanks.
Yeah.
Saggy.
Yeah.
I
But
think it's
do you see as much of that from the top
you will do if it gets
as
wide
it gets to being the bigger and wider? Yeah.
Yeah. When because you've got to remember that Tozai are built like that. And then over time, when they get to like Nisai, Sanzai, that starts to happen as they start to body up. So you got to think that what the pattern looks like that ends up like that.
Crafty's got a t-shirt on. It's a big fish pattern. When he brought it, it's just had 2 letters on it. As it expanded, you can see the whole letter.
Yeah, it goes like that. That's a good thing. So, look, that's what you see on a Kahaku. That's what you see on a Nisai, Sanzai, whatever 4 years old is. Goes by.
There you go.
Mikey said we all should move to
You
America.
done auction Tuesday?
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't very enthusiastic.
I'm not very enthusiastic, mate, to be fair with them.
Oh man.
This is a good one. Claude says, does anyone have decent long sleeve pond gloves, not crap splitting ones? I do, mate. Yeah, you want to see them? Here you go. Ready?
Yeah, when it's fucking cold, man. Yeah, we sell them, mate. We sell them.
Yeah, but unless they're neoprene, they ain't keeping you warm.
Huh?
No.
You're saying that when it's cold, but they ain't keeping your hands warm, are they? You can put rubber
Oh,
gloves on
the
that
good ones
one.
are fleece lined, mate.
What?
Yeah, you can get winter ones, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. We had some beautiful
Where
ones.
were PP like that when we were down there freezing us chuffing arse off?
You didn't have any gloves on.
I know.
It was
I
summer.
had some fleece lines on one. Some of my ass. That were torrential, mate. Freezing cold.
Still summer.
Well, I suppose it's
Ground
always.
temperatures.
You don't need pond gloves, man. Get your hands dirty. So there you go. Crafty does have some, mate.
What make are they?
I don't fucking know, mate.
What colour are they? Are they pink?
Blue.
Blue with black hat, black arms.
Yeah, black
They're like
furry.
marigolds.
Yeah, for the lady.
Furry in the middle.
I think so. Yeah. They I don't know. They sit on the shelf forever, and then all of a sudden, every fucker buys them.
Because it's cold. That's called marketing. Sell them.
I can't be asked for that if nothing trivia me.
Thank you, Ruth. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ruth's Miss August. She sent me a lovely cup
Yeah, she did me as well, mate.
with like a weird.
A little,
The little cozy thing on top of it. It's brilliant. You can leave your brew in that with that on top, and it stays warm for ages.
Keeps the flies out as well.
It does, yeah. It's perfect for inside the filter house.
Yeah, very good.
Can't be.
Any more for any more then? If not, I am going to bring this one this evening to an end.
We've not even done 3 hours, right? So that's 21.
We have.
hours
Oh, no, we're not. We're 4 minutes out. We're 4 minutes off.
Why don't you show that big Kahaku that I sent you, Gaz?
Oh, man. I can't get it in a big thing.
What are you doing? Why are you sending it, Crafty?
No, this is mint, this fish.
I was just explaining Fukurin on a Kahaku.
Good topic to go in the 24 hour.
This is something that you need to get, mate. You need to get a list of discussion points, because I think that you'll run out of things to speak about really quickly.
I thought we could.
We could have like a quiz game, Terry or not Terry.
Look at this thing. I don't know if it's going to show up very well, but
we could make this work. I could make it work. 24 of these, and I'll be bang on it.
You'll be falling off your fucking seat, or like this, like you was last time.
I need it bigger, Crafty.
That's not yours, Crafty. You've not brought that.
No, I didn't say I had.
All right.
Oh, there we go. Sweet.
Oh, mint, that's good, isn't it?
Look at that.
Fucking duck.
That thing is amazing, man.
It's a fucking dinosaur, isn't it? Look at that. That is a fucking fish, mate.
Oh, I can make it bigger.
Mate,
I'd
that is,
diagnose it with dropsy.
mate, that is just one of the best fish ever, isn't it? Look at that. That is just fucking pure, mate.
Because I were asking you when you were saying about you were calling that posted it, wasn't it, for about the nobody's mentioned the fulcrum on that kahaku, and I'm like, I thought that was a single coloured fish. And then Crafty sent me this morning after to have a look at, and I was like, my God. But it's not so often you get to see a kahaku at that size look like that.
That one of the night for me, one of the, like, personally,
Look at
Yeah.
that.
when you see a fish and you go, oh, and you take to a fish, that's one of the fish that done that to me when I seen it.
But if you look at the scales down at the bottom of the peduncle there, they're like 2-3 centimeters apart.
Yeah, and then the fulcrum, which is the skin that grows over the scale. You know, that is just like so well developed. It's fucking insane. You know, people think that the top of a fish is all scale. It's not the fact. It's skin grows over the base of the scale, which is
Now, when you look at that, Rick, as we were saying earlier on, that doesn't appear to have that big gut to it, does it? But you're saying a fish of that size would have some.
It
just
would
not
to a
seen it
degree.
because you're looking top down.
Yeah, but that's
if that looks fat, right? Then fuck knows what you're looking at, Cesc. With all, you know, without being rude, mate. But
behind the shell. It's monstrous, but yeah, it would carry a lot of weight underneath.
100%.
But
you've got to remember, it's a top-down fish. That's what they're judged on, top-down. You know,
That is immense, man.
you know that is the power of koi and what they are now.
That's been eating boilies, mate, not pellets. Yeah, 100%. That thing could swallow that airstone.
That was the GC at one of the smaller koi shows in Japan.
But that's probably only what 80, 85
I
cm.
think it's 78 cm off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Shit.
So people bang on
It looks
about.
bigger than that, doesn't it?
But that's because of the mass of it, Gaz.
Yeah.
It automatically puts size on it, you know. But you know, just look out when it comes out into the sun. You can see how deep that benny is, and how consistent that benny is across the whole of the fish, and how that shiroji is so white all the way through. The sashi is tightened up to almost being non-existent. The kiwa is finished in every place. It doesn't have to be Marizomi kiwa.
That's almost opposite though. The scales always stand up from the skin rather than the skin.
It's fucking immense, man.
It's almost
Look,
opposite.
bulletproof,
to
isn't it?
blueprint.
Very leather.
But this is the yeah. So says because they're saying sorry, Crafty don't like it.
Yeah,
I can understand to a point. I think when koi get to a certain size, they do start to become uglier.
That is insane.
That is what koi is about right there. Getting that mass, getting the body mass on them and getting them big.
That's why I'm going to be a true koi when I'm bigger.
Yeah. You know, that is what people. When people are fucking spoon-fed shit at dealers, mate, saying their fish will get to this, and this, right? Because mum and dad look like that. It's, you know, that's just bollocks. That is the results that people should be aiming to achieve right there.
That's the bit you were saying. That Rick was saying, to get that fish to that scale and that mass.
When you get in that.
That's some serious amount of food going in to get that mass on a fish of that size, isn't it?
Yeah, but it can also be really scaled down in the concrete ponds when it gets brought in as well. You wouldn't see like 40 fish in there, mate.
See, when I see a fish of that size, I always think, I'd love to catch that.
You see, and here we go. The only problem is a single red spot next to the tail. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to appreciate the koi rather than assassinate it because it's got one spot. And this is what I say in my auctions. Far too many people look for the perfection, right? If you look at this, you're seeing some secondary Benny just before the leading ray of the dorsal. It's also got very, very small amount of Benny in the pec fins as well. But it takes the GC, right? You know,
I'm going to say, Crafty, right now, right? I love to skip. I think it's the opposite to Fukurin.
You think it's reversed?
Yeah.
I will get it clarified with Mr. Tate.
The way the scales stand up and you haven't got the skin overlapping, I think it's fucking mental back to front.
When you look at it, when it comes down, let's get it to where it was by
89 centimeters. Is that what it says, Si? Not 70.
When you look at it there on that tail section on there.
You look up by the dorsal and the shoulder, right? The scales are almost standing proud of the skin rather than the skin.
That's Fukurin right in the tail, 100%.
Yeah, but
off on the front, I see what you're saying. To me, it looks like the skin's overtook the scale.
Whatever, mate. It is an immense fish.
There is definitely something weird looking about scalation. That was as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God.
I mean, just look at that, mate. Look at that. That's just fucking insane quality.
None of us have got a fish like that. None of us will ever own a fish like that.
Ever. Absolutely fucking insane fish.
Yeah. It's mine, Ryan. What a submarine, I wish. Every one of my fish would fit inside that fish, like a Russian doll.
Just look at uglier and uglier as it gets smaller and smaller.
That was just harsh, Rick. Most of my fish come from you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I can say it.
It's just how thick the Fukurin is that's making it look strange. Maybe it could be. It's like crocodile skin, impressive fish. Would you like him with that chubby cheek mouth look?
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, is that a trait of all fish when they start getting to that size?
No.
Or just some of them? Because
little ones get it. It's all to do with the genetics, isn't it? It's all to do with the
just head shape pattern type again.
The Shiroji's almost got like a gin quality to it as well, isn't it? When you see it,
who's the breeder craft?
Shines.
Issa.
Hey, what did you think to that? What did you think to that one?
It's a Nagyosai Koisho is the GC from that. 89 cm, not 78.
I can't remember who it was that said that they're known for producing Showa, but they're actually bringing out a
new Kahaku line.
Kahaku line. Issa. Yeah, Issa.
You've gone full circle again. Fuck's sake. Definitely.
What did they used to do before then?
Oh no, they've always done Showa. He was the chairman of the All Japan Shokai, whatever. But his son took it over, and his Showa are amazing. But they're doing some good Kahaku.
Well, apparently next year they're releasing the new bloodline of Kahaku.
Probably the offspring of that fucker.
Yeah, that's
like reverse fucking
money. It's unreal.
Yeah, that's reverse. The Fukurin is that back to front, man. I swear to God.
So, like the one you've got,
extremely well developed. You know,
they don't even look like scales anymore at that size, though, do they? They don't look like a scale at all, does it? Don't look like you could lift that scale up like it's fused. It almost looks like it's plasticine. It's a remote control thing, isn't it? It's not real.
Wherever it is, mate, we're never going to own one like it.
No. mint, whatever it is.
That's probably 100-gram fish, isn't it?
Oh, I would've
Easy.
thought so.
Well, from Issa, probably more.
I'll have two
When
then.
do you think? Well, they said they were going to, on the video that I watched, they said they were going to be releasing them next season, next year, I believe.
Getting your hands on them would be so difficult, though, guys. I promise you, mate.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying that's what they said in the interview. That's what he said at the end of it.
He has such an Asian market go there, mate. I think I've told you already. It's like, there's a guy that goes there, mate, and he literally buys a pond of fish without even pulling any up, right? And then he'll sift them, and anything that he don't want gets binned. You know.
Edward Naylor says that's my target in the next 5 years.
Good 5 years.
My target. I'll be dead before I hit that target.
You know. I'll put another post in your thingy, Gus, as well.
Looks like 3D scales, Amanda Smith says. It does, doesn't it?
Next stop.
These are mint, mate.
I've got some of these.
Have you?
I've got them ones in the picture.
I like these, mate. I liked them as soon as I saw them. All day long for me, these.
They won't be around long, these.
Oh, no, I don't imagine they will be, mate. Look at that.
So what type of gimmer is that then, Crafty?
That is Nigatagin.
You said that very firmly.
That is mintkin. Is what that is.
Which one translates as shattered glass?
I don't know.
I'm being an arsehole now. No, that's right.
I'd have to
I'm
look.
doing an Alan Tate now, aren't I?
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Stones to Mars.
Yeah, he sent me on that wild goose chase.
Yeah, stepping stones instead of Aragoki.
Mate.
This is Aragoki, though. This real good fucking fish. They're different, you know.
I thought I had some nice ones, but that's pretty immense. Isn't it?
Frank, I'll send you some.
Have some of them if you were quick, Rick.
Send you some
Won't
pictures
have to
over
hang
tomorrow.
around long.
I can't buy any more dark grey fish with glittery scales. But yeah, that is shattered glass, isn't it?
I'll find out for you, mate. Hang on. See if I can find it.
Frank says, is any of the good ones still available?
I'll send you. I haven't sold any of them yet, mate, because I haven't put them to market. So I'll send you pictures over, Frank.
Can we see them swimming around in a bowl?
I'll send you some as well, Mark. No props. Yeah, I'll do a little video.
You'll send us a little video, and I'll dibs them all.
You can dibs, but you got to pay.
It doesn't matter. As long as I've dibs it, Frank can grow it on. Sweet. It belongs to me. I'll just pay what the price was when I dibsed it. Cheers, Frank.
It's upkeep as well, mate. Yeah. Frank feeds some rather unique food, does Frank?
It makes his own paste, mate, which is just halibut pellet. It's not a
spaghetti bolognese.
No big secret.
I don't know what he does. It's just, you know, he what he does is fish like and do well on. So
I'm going to take it, Mick, but it looks like halibut paste.
This is how we learn shit.
Yeah.
If I said what I've used over the years, might not go well.
I've seen the paste that Frank makes up, but I don't know what goes into it. Obviously. But you know when they make that halibut paste, it looks like that. It's got that brown texture to it.
I've seen some really fat kids growing up on McDonald's. Grind that up, chuck it in.
I'm one of them.
You're still growing up on it.
Oh, you bastard.
That's why you had to sweep your chins under your rug.
You've got to want to eat it, haven't you? Imagine they're forcing Greg's sausage rolls. They love them.
How are the sand-sized, Rick? Have they been out? Are they out of the mud pond a few? No, sorry, now they've been out of the mud ponds a few days.
Banging. Some of them banging. Not all of them.
It's Tamasaba's blended. Dainichi use a paste like. Is it Dainichi? They use like a paste like that. They
Sakai, if you go on Sakai's website, I don't know if it's on there.
Sakai.
Yeah, they both do. Because the big fish don't want to bother coming up, do they? It's like feeding a hippo. Just chuck it in.
Massive balls in there, yeah. Big, massive, huge balls of it.
Yeah, he's I believe his recipe is on his website that he uses with a step-by-step guide on how to achieve it. And again, everyone that's listening, it's worth going onto the Japanese breeders' websites. Top right-hand corner, you can translate it to English. It does a Japanese and an English version.
Oh,
And
Sanke.
you can see so much.
It says, feed ground sake, 1 egg, 2 barley sugar,
They put some fucking weird stuff
1
in it.
koi, 1 million ton, 1 feed.
Right, let's have a look.
The thing is, they got nothing. It's not like there's a secret to hide. They've got the genetics and the environment and the money coming in. If you're going to sell a fish for 100 grand, you can afford to feed it 5 grand's worth of food.
Hiroshima Gin is what was on that fish, not Nagata. Hiroshima, which is shattered
You
glass.
got there, shattered glass, boom. I've just done an Alan Tate. Fucking
Did you?
What's Tamagin?
Tamagin, it comes on goldfish.
And Betagin.
Oh, beat again. Yeah, I know that. I'm not going to tell you.
Why not? Solid shiny block in the center of the scale is your Tamagin.
Yeah, it's not beat again, though, is it?
Betagin is the whole of the scale is shiny.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Like a fish scale.
But what's mad is that what you had, that did look like shattered glass, and the top scales were.
There's probably a bit of both in there as well, to be fair. The Nagata Gin looks like that brushed aluminium when it sort of goes all over the shop.
We've got no questions. Is anyone watching anymore?
No.
Yeah, 100 people.
There's 100 people listening to you.
Talking about
Quiz
shattered glass
crafty
and
about shattered
shattered
glass.
dreams.
There you go, Crafty. I'll bring you some of the prototype paste pellets.
Yeah, Frank's product selling really well, actually.
Oh, sorry, Rick. I put that up. I need to call Brand Family Coil Adventure says I need to call you about the NFK Yellow Dragons.
I haven't got it yet.
Have you seen the golden dragon that someone's apparently bought?
A golden dragon.
Crafty, I'm one step ahead, mate. I'm on the Welsh
Seen a
dragon.
red dragon.
The golden dragon from Aoki,
Oh,
Which
the
is-
golden dragon.
which is a completely made up fallacy by the person that bought them.
Oh,
And you heard it first on a certain. It was made up on a certain auction.
not the MADYK auction. I just made that up as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, fucking.
I was trying to work that out then.
Yeah,
Made
well,
up
Ryan had some from Aoki, and they called it they made up a variety of what it was there and then. And there's a dealer that's gone out and bought some and called it that.
Hi, Rick. Are you looking after my fish? That one that Gaz caught as you netted it. Which one was that?
I'm going to go with yes because it's a good answer.
It's the safest option, isn't it? Yeah. We got.
He's looking after all his fish. So, which one was that, Philip?
Of course, we are. It's probably in the Soul Pond on Saka Hikari Special Blend 7.
Your Sansai Deutsch Kimatsubas are the best I've ever seen anywhere. There you go, Rick.
Thank you. I'm not sure. Is that the one I'm looking after? Or is that,
Just say yes. Just yes. Yes, he is. Philip, he is, mate, 100%.
I look after every single fish we have.
Apart from the ones he feeds to dogs.
Yeah, they're obviously not fit for looking after, perhaps.
Well, they're looking after your dogs, though, aren't they?
Bit of omega-3, mate. Sort you right out.
He's not looking after the carp in the lake that much. In fact, he might be looking after them too well because you got catching when you go fish there.
It is a lot harder than it should be.
There you go. You put it in with some of your bigger fish.
It's probably perfect then.
Narrow it down a little bit, Phil. What type of koi was it?
There is some in with the bigger fish that are kind of unaccounted for.
How did I catch it? Was that?
Yeah, you call it Gimrinochi, but banned with you.
How did I catch it though?
Problem is Vince keeps putting fish in with the bigger fish, so we don't sell it. Dibs that one.
How did I catch it, Phil? Where was I when I caught it? Obviously, I got to have been down at New Forest Koi. I guess that's going to be from the video New Forest Koi, the movie. Was it on there?
Yeah, the movie. Movie. You were there in such a rainy shitstorm. You had to keep raining and recording.
It would have meant all weekend, should I say. Didn't make no difference whether it rained or not. Well, it did a bit, didn't it? It made everywhere a bit muddy and wet. It was Vince's day. Ah, right. So it was on the day of. Oh, right. Is that the auction fish? One of the auction fish?
I'll be worried now.
Was it one that you bid on, mate, or was it one that I?
No. It's a Gimrinochi.
Oh, yeah. It was. I know which one it is. It was one that was put in. We put it in with the big fish in the thingy to make sure that it didn't get sold.
Yes, it was.
So yes. Rick's just running out now to double check his phone and make sure it's still there. Or he's going to bathroom again. That beer's going through you tonight, mate.
Broke seal anyway.
What do you think to all these? When is the next one, Gaz? When is the next visit down to New Forest? When Rick says we're allowed to play out again, mate. I'd go down there every weekend if I could for me. I remember, mate, it was put in there to put to one side when it, so that should mean that it's in the far right corner tank vat when you're on the outside section in the L-shaped part. Yeah, Mark, whenever I'd go down there every week if it weren't for the travelling.
Yeah, it's a way, mate.
It's a slog. I'm not saying. Don't think it'll be this year, but there is something planned for next year. Oh, are you making a brew?
Yeah.
My Coke's run out. I'll have a coffee too. Sugars, please, mate. We're gonna have to get this sorted out for 24-hour live. You know, it's the law when you walk past the kettle that you have to make everybody a drink. That's your own law. Middle tank. Was it the middle? Hopefully it's still in there, mate. Oh, Rick's done you like a kipper. Middle tank. Has anybody else got anything else they would like to have a sit here and have a natter and a chat about then? Or if not, as we are now 3 hours and 23 minutes, we could go right quick without Rick knowing. He'll still be sat there thinking, talking to himself, thinking we're all here. It takes him ages to be able to turn his camera off anyway. He'll never know.
I'll be here. On a Wednesday, look, I got one dog. They've all gone to sleep.
It was in the middle tank, he says. They all got a sofa apiece. Not daft, Joe does.
Yeah.
He said it was in the middle tank of
One
the
sofa.
outside elevator bit. But it is a Ginrin Achiba or Tuba.
Yeah, that pond's been moved, but yeah, still there.
Just fixing up my new koi tank from Derby Koi. Or Denby Koi. Sorry, my bad. Crafty's putting a brew on for us, mate, apparently. It's just taking him ages.
No need for me, mate.
No,
I'll have a beer.
you're on the beer, son.
I
3
am.
hours, 24 and 15 seconds. Anyone
bad.
got that PD complete?
We didn't even have one question to deal with.
Flow rates in winter. Sorry, Mark. Yeah, somebody posted that earlier on. Was that yourself, bud? Is it a good idea to slow your flow rates down in winter or leave them maintain running as they was?
If you can slow them down, why wouldn't you? Cost
If you
less
slow them
money.
down, wouldn't you run risk of it more likely to freeze?
Not unless it's proper cold, in which point you perhaps.
Switching it off anyway.
Yeah.
So I think,
Everything
to
slows
be
down.
fair,
Why,
I think
why would you keep the flow the same as the summer when you're not feeding
you're
the
not
same?
feeding it nowhere near as much, so you can get more dwelling time.
Yeah. Slow
I slowed mine down last year. I reduced the flows in mine. I haven't done yet though. Man, I'm proper. I know it's not freezing cold yet, but normally it's colder than what it is here at this time of year. And every morning that I've been going out over the last 3 weeks, all my fish are up at top, coming straight towards me, looking for food.
It's not cold yet, is it? They
Not like,
know.
no, not
they
like
know
it was
what's
this
coming.
time last year. It was proper supposed to drop off next week though. Past we get down to 3 and 4 degrees, 2 and 3 degrees for us up here.
They're chatting to each other, going, "Have you seen the news, mate? Yeah, I know. It's going to be -6 next week. Shit. We're
Really?
gonna be cold." Exactly. No, not me and you. The fish. They know. They all know. Everything in nature knows a lot better than us, doesn't it?
All on their iPhones, on the fin phones.
They don't need
Simon asked
iPhones.
Crafty
They don't
about
need
that.
iPhones and fin phones, do they?
Oh, I missed that one. What Frank was putting. Simon asked Crafty about complete pond detox. He's actually used it, not just making assumptions.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good. Works wonders for your clarity as well. Really good. What you need to do, Si, is buy some off of us, mate, and then give it a go yourself, rather than take the advice, mate. I promise you won't be disappointed with it. It's really good.
Give some to me. I'll put it through its paces. we got some ponds that could do with detoxing. I might snort a bit myself. Does it work on humans?
Yeah, mate.
You can do a bit of detoxing. Do you turn your UV off in winter?
I don't.
I don't, mate. But I mean, you don't need it on, do you? Because you've got less sunlight. You're not producing as much algae. You're not getting that much of a bloom in your pond. You could save it, and if it starts, you could switch it off. And if it starts discoloring your water again a little bit, you can put it back on again until it's cleared up. Save a few quid. I don't think it's a mass saving, but any savings are saving, isn't it?
Depends how big your UV is, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
110
exactly.
watt UV is going to Well, costs 110 watts of kilowatt every 10 hours. 2 kilowatts. Add up to a few £100 a year.
Wow.
Missing another one there. Do you turn the UV off? Do you turn your air stones off in the pond during winter? No, I don't. I'll leave mine on purely to stop the surface from freezing.
Yeah, but you're doing exactly the thing you shouldn't do then, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to say that. You're just super chilling it more again, aren't you?
No, I'm just saying that if you don't want to stir up the bottom of your pond to the top of your pond, don't draw the water from the bottom, or don't draw.
But
air
I don't have air going into the pond anyway, like bubbles in the actual pond from.
You shouldn't need an air stone in your pond if it's cold. Period.
I generate in my pond. There's enough oxygen get into the fish pond through the aeration that goes through the nexus.
Yeah, but you shouldn't need. So it's linear. So the colder water gets, the more oxygen it will hold, and the less oxygen fish need, the colder they are. So it's a double whammy. The colder the water, the less oxygen they need, and the more oxygen the water holds. So it's a treble plussy.
So we can switch them off. You can switch your air off then.
You should never need air in the winter. All you're doing is stirring the bottom to the top. You're just circulating. Circulating the bottom to the top. So if it's really cold, you're turning the warm water colder.
How did you do it? Triple whammy.
The triple whammy, yeah.
Just like
anything you can do to keep the bottom still in the winter when it's proper cold is keeping that bit warmer than the rest of it. So if you're drawing the water through a bottom drain and exposing it to the air, you're taking the 4-degree water and freezing it. And if you're using an air stone and taking the warm water down the bottom to the top, you're freezing it. Either which way, you're doing exactly what nature doesn't do.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Raise air stones from the bottom in the winter, or just turn them off.
yeah. The only reason you'd have an air stone running in the winter is to keep a non-frozen bit, and the reason it's not frozen,
so the air stones could be
warmer water
to the surface. Then
you're taking warm water to the top, yeah, so it's not freezing. So you get gas exchange, which is a bonus, but you're chilling water, which is a negative.
Negative. Rick, do you use Siltex in Little Lakes?
No, I had a chat with the guy that does it, and it changes the pH of the silt. So if you've got a lot of breakdown of leaves and stuff, so it's quite acidic, it works very well. From our point of view, that's not an issue. So he said it won't do jack shit. And that's from the guy that does it.
Well, that's good. At least to give you the right advice, mate. To give you a load of shit.
Buying it.
I can't stop watching Crafty combing his fucking moustache. I've never brushed my teeth that much. Let alone my bushy face.
But if the air pump is inside the shed, surely that's slightly heating the water.
It is, but you're dragging the warm water from the bottom of the pond to the surface. The whole point of aeration, it takes water. Every air bubble takes water with it, which is how you can run an air like pump. What are they called? Air pump.
An air pump, mate. Yeah.
When you move water with air pumps. Air pump. I don't know. How do you even pronounce that when it's
an air pump, mate? Yeah.
But an air pump pumps air, but when you're using air
through an air
One
yeah, every air bubble will carry water.
Airlifter.
Airlift pump.
Can you add fish to a new
What's
pond
going
this
on
time
here?
of
We've all
year
gone to bed.
with a heater?
Okay, so I've just imported 32 boxes of this eye from Japan.
Have you? Thanks for that.
That says everything. We will then import the next lot in February, which are Tozai, which is the coldest winter months.
So the bit where everybody says we can't purchase fish and we don't sell fish in the winter months because it's too cold to introduce fish is twaddle, isn't it?
It's not that, mate. It's the temperature difference between if we're selling fish from inside, then
At 20 odd degrees.
the
and
ponds will
outside.
have an ambient temperature of around 14 to 16 degrees.
Yeah.
Right. And then your pond's at 5 degrees. That's too much of a temperature swing.
Yeah. So it depends on the area, the ambient temperature of the pond that they're coming from to what they're going in, mate. If it's equal, then you ain't got a problem. If you drop in 10 degrees, then not a chance.
Yeah, your fish won't enjoy that.
No. And we've got airlift.
I knew what I was saying. It just kept coming out air pump.
I knew what you meant as well, mate.
I knew what you meant. Especially when somebody typed it in 3 times. Rob, Foxy Rob, and Seska and Vince all banged in airlift. Right then, ladies and gents.
You're not calling it a 3.5 hours, are you?
Apparently not.
Such a lightweight, isn't he?
Lightweight. I got no to get up for, mate. You forget. I'm semi-unemployed.
Semi-unemployed.
Yeah.
That suggests you're getting paid for not going to work.
No, that suggests I'm not getting paid because I'm not going to work because I got no work to go to.
You have to sort your bond out.
That's what I was thinking about. What do you mean sort my pond out? What's wrong with it? I could raise my hair stones up.
Yeah, you could.
I could switch them off. I could
You could do a whole video on.
Have you seen NND's Kahaku?
NND's Kahaku, yeah.
Have you seen them?
Oh no, I'm getting some. Well, hopefully. Are they good or bad?
Got to get red for the 24 hour.
No, they look really good. Let me find it. I'll send it over to Gaz.
That's cold weather kills bacteria.
Cold weather doesn't kill bacteria. Oh my god! Can you imagine that? Every time it gets cold, no one got ill. It might slow it down, but yeah.
So why do we put stuff in fridges, Rick, at 4 degrees?
It don't kill it, does it?
I didn't. Yeah, I'm not. I wasn't saying it did. I was asking the same question that you asked me the other week. And you said it to me.
Let's go into the science. Gaz, at 4 degrees, bacteria ceases multiplying.
Yeah.
But what happens after 4 degrees when you put it back in the warm?
It starts to multiply again once every 15 seconds.
It didn't die, did it?
No.
Just checking.
Preservative.
I was just going to state what you said. That's all, because that's what you said to me about the fridge. Why do we put stuff into a fridge?
Did I say that last week? I'm bloody
Not last week, or week before.
A couple of weeks back, that was.
Oh. There we go.
Boom. Is this the new Kahaku I'm buying?
I do listen when you're talking, you know. I do. I do pay attention. Honest. I'm not that loud. There we go. Can we pop it out? Make it bigger? We can. This is wicked. After all this time, I didn't know we could freaking do that.
You know what? Seska and her flag ain't the only one.
200 days grow in mud pond, 6 months old. Kahaku, NND. Can we replay that?
Yeah. Just click on it again, Gaz.
Let's click on it again.
I have just clicked on it. It's
Just follow the instructions, Gaz. Dropbox, left corner, scroll down.
Do it. Let me mute. Guys, just click on the link I gave you again, dude.
Flexing you.
6 month old, man, and these fish look fantastic.
bangers.
There's probably another picture actually.
There's a yeah.
Hi, darling, you're right.
Can't judge him from that, Crafty. Ooh. Wouldn't kick him out of bed, would you?
No, they're good, aren't they? Look, 6 month old, the size of some of them, man.
Oh, look at that.
Is that like a card he sent you? Crafty, happy birthday. Oh, my son sent you a happy birthday. Nice.
Some bangers.
Has he got some of those Tozo in February, do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely.
That's nice there, that one with the...
Make sure you don't pick them all, mate.
Oh yeah, you're after me, aren't you?
I'm sloppy seconds.
See, it's
What's
what
that
happens,
for?
mate. When he goes to Japan, he's going after us, isn't he now?
Yeah, lucky son. Where is Matt?
Where's that? I don't know.
Yeah, somebody put in earlier on, where is Matt? Not seen him on here for a while. And I haven't seen him on here for a while. Not since he did his...
Since he did his photo competition.
What's he been up to? Is he busy?
Yeah, he's built 3 new ponds.
What? Oh, he's...
Yeah. Yeah, he's gone mad. He's gone mad.
expanding a little bit.
He put a massive polytunnel in and 3 new ponds, all heated.
Has he really?
Turns out he's not doing it himself. Cheeky burger.
Fucking
I mean, no point having a dog and bite yourself, mate. If you can get somebody else to do it, get somebody else to do it. Saves having to do all that graft and hard donkey work, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, he's on it, ready for the trip.
Sweet.
It turns out you lot are buying shit before us.
Yeah, we're
So
buying
we're gonna get-
there's loads out there though, mate, isn't there?
I don't know. Not once you've been out there with your grubby mitts on it all.
Gaz the duck is what? Go on, man. Foreman.
So chances are you're going to be on the same plane we arrive on. So I'm going to do a big fart on my seat just in case.
That's really nice of you, mate.
Because anything I could leave, you might smell for 18 hours on the way home.
I'm sure they'll degas it, mate, before anyone gets
Nah,
it.
they don't bother. Definite.
Just for me.
Don't make it special for you, mate.
Have a look at them, Gaz. If you want.
You still looking at more? You just bought loads of fish.
I've got another shipment coming at the end of November.
That's the same bowl we just looked at, isn't it?
Yeah, there should be more. I don't know what's being.
So, how much are you selling these for?
No, these are N&D's fish.
Oh, they're not yours?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Good
I'll
body
have
on
to- Yeah, that's a male, and the other one's a female, surely. I'll have the little one.
that. So that one's a male spotted.
Don't take me as word, but that big, strong structure that early.
Would indicate more male, and this one being a younger female, which will body up.
Younger, they're siblings.
I said this young male. The torso out there.
They're 6 months old. So if I looked at that pair right now, I'd say, yeah, the one on the left's female, the one on the right's male, or the opposite way around now. That massive big body structure, early doors, deep belly, yellow nose, male. As a rule. It would be nice. Look at the bowl, and you could pick the males and females, and then Crafty could buy them all, grow them, and we could see next year who's right.
Which would you have out of that bowl, Rick?
Second from the bottom on the left. Where's your pointer gone?
I'm getting messages from everybody now. Where's my pointer gone? Second from the left.
Down.
At
Down,
6
down,
o'clock.
down,
6 o'clock.
down.
6 o'clock.
Down, up. That one.
That one.
Yeah, the 2-step. Quality of that is absolutely.
That 3-step.
Oh, that one.
I like that one, me.
That's a big fish pattern, mate.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? That.
Yeah, but the first 2 downs are too close together. It's like you haven't got enough separation. My one is much better.
Crafty's got a bite it yet, though. We'll see when they grow. There isn't a bad pattern there, really, though, is there?
No, but my one's best.
My one's best. I shall get Omeo to send it you out in a box.
Fuji, that's
I
now
really like the one on the right hand side at the bottom.
That one.
One, yeah. Little levant in the middle of it, Rick.
And you don't see those kind of things.
No, that's why I said it, mate, because no one else, like, I never see them.
It
Look at
looks
that one there with a
like
dick on its nose.
Love art.
And the smaller bodied one pattern wise is amazing. That one there with the smaller red.
Look at that one.
It's got a knob on its head.
Sorry.
The one that's in the top middle of the picture now has got a cracking pattern.
That's got a good pattern,
but yeah,
That's
pattern-wise,
that's one Rick picked.
yeah, quality's all over that, isn't it? You can see it even more now you've zoomed in.
What do you see? Now it's the one I picked. It's done. It's the best fish in the bowl by a mile. Done. Have it. Ship it in.
What's this, Lorraine? What are you trying to send me? Because I think that's yours, and it didn't come through. Whatever it was. Facebook's messed up, man. Don't send note for rate.
So you must be getting some sleep now, Crafty. Is Ryan back home? No more buying.
I've got worse.
He's back home. He's back home today.
That's it.
Said he'd be back home Thursday.
No late night calls. No looking at dodgy pictures in the night.
35 pieces were selected from 60,000 fry.
My God.
And the one I picked was the best. I'll have it. Go on. I'll have it for, what, 20 quid?
I need to refresh this. Rick, I hope this comes through so we can show you.
You can't be as good as that Kahako I've just brought. Crafty's literally just promised it. He's going to buy it for me. Literally.
This is nice, mate. I'll make that pop out and go bigger too.
It's a new feature, isn't
It's
Some little bloke catching fish.
It's not just a little.
I thought it was a Japanese man. Marcus.
It's Marcus.
Yeah, it's Marcus. Wait till you
I'm
see.
not a
Wait,
Japanese. Togiomo.
wait till you see this fish.
It's amazing what a bit of Tim Rapp would do around your pond, wasn't it? Oh, it's a yellow monkey. Mate, if he bought that for 40 quid, he needs suing.
That's your fish. That's one of yours.
He needs fucking suing.
That's one of yours, mate.
That's the one that I turned around and said, "Fuck you, Marcus," because he got the one that I wanted, which he's now said he's growing on for me. But,
Did he?
yeah,
Can you grow on for me then?
that's mint, isn't it? Oh, Lorraine, send the other two and all. The Guinean Achievers.
I'm not being funny. If someone said that's a yellow monkey, you go, all right.
The gin's
I'm
good.
not being funny, but that is going to be my NFK yellow monkey, right?
The
It
gin
is
is fucking fantastic.
spanking.
That's mint, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's now what was it? The ball up there. What did you measure it? 38 cm. I think it was 38.
That is beautiful. And yeah.
37.
37.
It won't grow proper like a yellow monkey, but it is beautiful.
It is beautiful, mate. That's mint. Stunning fish.
Mate, there's nothing wrong with that fish.
See if Lorraine can send us through the other two, Lorraine, if you're still watching, because that is the other two are really nice, mate. The Guinean Achievers that they got banging.
If I can do
Those
a bowl of Hakus like that in 2 years' time, I will take all the plaudits and then retire. Because
What about the Shiro?
the Shiro,
Have a look at the Shiro I sent you, Gaz. Bottom right, mate.
bottom right, guys, he tells you where to go. Come on.
Oh my god. Thank you.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Is
They're
that
nice.
two year classes or just done?
That was his selection for one of the Japan shows, the NND Kahaku DK Shiro line. So he had them in about 4 or 5 different categories or classes. He done really well as well, actually, award wise.
That's nice.
That one that's left of the picture now is banging.
I quite like that one though, with more Saroji on it. That's nice too. That's some banging fish again.
So the one that's best is like the opposite of the pattern it should be, innit? So the best fish in that bowl is banded rather than checkerboard. It's just banded, isn't it?
Yeah, the one bang centre now.
Yeah, that's the best fish in the bowl.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, but the pattern's completely wrong for a shear at Surrey. But it's so good. It's still the best. It's still the best. Absolutely fucking mental.
Excuse me.
But I still think I could do the shearers before I could do the kahakus.
Look at that banger.
It's bodied out well.
35 cm.
Is that Tozo, yeah?
Yeah, it's again. That's one of the. That's one of the.
Now be Nisai.
It's one of the. It's one of the 40 cm ones.
It was probably just about Tozo when they took it, but yeah. They'll both be so much better in a couple more years when they get a bit bigger.
That's a fantastic looking fish.
Look at that, man. It's mint, isn't it?
That's fantastic.
That's an achiever.
That's an achiever.
That's fucking
That is-
that's an
that's
achiever. I don't know about achiever, but fuck me. That is banging.
Look at the scalation down that.
Yeah,
I'll
really well uniform.
Those fucking gahakus. I reckon. Spin out there.
What's that cross with, Rick?
That it's a Gimmer and a Sagi cross, a Krashigoi Ochiba cross. So it's got four different parents. It's got the grandparents, the Shishui, Asagi, Krashigoi, Ochiba.
So it's got the big gene in it from the Crashy.
Yeah, and both parents are Wagoi. So to create doits out of it is pretty mental. But then it's got two parents that are doits.
Mark says I need to visit you, Rick.
Mark's got a thing for big scale fish at the minute.
Yeah, it's nice that Mark, isn't it? Lorraine says that was the first auction fish, the one I wanted, and the cheapest to go. With a big grin.
So all three of those fish were like 150 quid or less than 200 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What bangers they are, mate, aren't they?
Got on it like a shovel and all.
Mm.
Apparently, it really likes Sakai Akari too. Marcus definitely wants to grow more of your fish next year. He's really happy.
I'm fucking sure he does.
He was buzzing when he were balling them up.
Yeah, that's a nice example.
Yeah, it is, mate. Stunning.
Yeah, really pretty.
I still think the Gimmer and Krashigoi is the best of those three.
Oh, mate. Yeah, mate. Maybe technically, mate, that last fish for me was, that's proper. Looked good.
The gin on that Ginrin Karashigoi is mint, mate.
Give me another 30 years and I'll be
You'd be dead. Sorry. That was a bit
I
harsh.
will be, yeah. Don't take offense. I'm not giving. We were
There you
finished.
go then. That got us to the 4-hour mark, Rick.
4 hours.
And you've only got a little mouthful left anyway, haven't you?
I know. I've run out.
Perfect timing. So there we go, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for joining us on this evening of complete madness. They are all stunning in the flesh, but Gaz's fish sparkles like a diamond in the flesh. I'm going to get to see him and all because I'm going to go down to see him and go have a look at all his fish, which I can't wait to do, to be fair. He's got some bangers. He's got some mint fish in that pond.
You got to
Some
drive
really
past
nice
you to
fish.
get to him.
Well, then maybe I'll pick you up en route.
I'm not going. I don't want to see my fish looking that good.
Does it depress you? I don't want to see my fish looking that good. I should take pictures of them, forward them all through to you on
Make them all grainy.
Telegram all day. It's what? Look what you could have had.
Grainy, like Minecraft pictures.
No, what? If on your mobile they'll look good, just when you download them they'll look crap.
All right.
Right then, guys. Thank you very much for joining us all this evening. Usual thing, guys. If you've been enjoying this crazy madness kind of content, do us a huge favour. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Till next time, we'll see you on the next one. Don't send Dropbox. That's a new one. Don't send it in your Dropbox.
You bunch of cricket bats.
A bunch of cricket bats.
Drop
Catch you all in the next one, guys. Thanks for joining us.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah. I will.
Sunday for your auction.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. What are you going to do, Crafty? Kahakus? Still live.